didn't quit. You're really like against all odds. You're doing something that no one in the family's done, that none of your friends have done.
I'm just gonna say the thing you're not supposed to say.
Whatever is mine is looking for me.
You have to know what road to take to get to your final destination.
Everything that you ever wanted is on the other side of fear.
Good evening. Welcome back to Between Two Worlds with Yoni. Thank you for joining me on this fabulous Monday. I do apologize for being tardy, but I was trying to do blue on the lashes, and girl, why did I do that? Why? It was a hot ass mess. Why is blue so hard? I feel like blue is so hard, but I wanted to match my top, so and then I threw on this wig, I just dusted it off. It's the Shake and Go that I cut. It's the Shake and Go synthetic. Is it? I'll have to post it because honestly, I bought this a while back, but I decided to cut it a little bit, and then have it flip out at the ends. I'm still trying to have it flip out a little bit and then just do like the little shaggy cut. It was impulsive. So it's an Aries full moon, and we do impulsive, reckless things sometimes. So that's what happened. So let's get into today's topic because we have a lot to discuss. I almost said 50 Cent. P. Diddy should have gotten 50 years. I don't care if people think it's harsh. He should have, but he got 50 months, which really means he probably get like 2 years if you count like the halfway house and all of that. So I'm a little irritated about it. And I think the only reason why he got the 50 months, the 4 years, is simply because he arrogantly scheduled that speaking engagement in Miami, and the judge caught wind of that. And I think at the very last minute, he decided to add on a little bit more towards the end there. That's just my opinion. Um, and I understand the jury and everything, but ultimately the sentencing came down to the judge, and he decided to go off of the probation office and what they typically sentence people with these type of crimes and things like that. So I get it, but I think we were all expecting a heftier sentencing, but hey, it is what it is. But when we consider the caliber of man, this is more than I've seen most, like this, most men of his caliber wouldn't do any time at all. So, and I think his arrogance is what really got him caught up with the whole scheduling a speaking engagement. And so he really thought he was going to walk. And I'm not going to lie, a lot of us thought he was going to walk. A lot of us like, oh, he probably going to walk up out of there. He ain't going to serve no time at all. So I was actually shocked. So a part of me is like, oh, he should have gotten more time. But honestly, he got some time. And I feel like we shouldn't downplay the time that he did get, because most men in power don't get any time at all. Like they just walk scot-free. So I'll give it to the judge on that one. But I wanted to talk about this because the girls are fighting. The girls are fighting. It's Caresha and it's Gina, and then it's the Taylor Swift, Kayla, which I was not expecting. I'm not gonna lie. I did not think Taylor Swift would ever acknowledge Kayla, but she did, and she put it in her music. Was not expecting that. Then we're gonna talk about Stefon Diggs and Tony Gaskin and what he had to say, and some other people had to say. So let's get into it. Yeah, Taylor Swift. We're just in a new era. I don't know what else to say. So let me play this really quick because I thought this was funny.
Diddy gonna end up doing 24 months in prison. The judge gave him 50 months, but you gotta realize he already had 14 months in it, practically, and he's going to get credit for 2 months of that 14 months. That give him 16 months. He's gonna do 24 months, which is gonna give him about 30 months because he only had to do 85% in the feds, and he goes to probably a halfway house. So He got off like a fat rat in a cheese factory. But for a dude like Diddy,
Hold on. That was funny as hell. I was like, he got off like a fat rat in a cheese factory.
fat rat in a cheese factory. So he got off like a fat rat in a cheese factory.
Yeah, that's my opinion too. He got off, y'all. That's how I really feel, but I'm not gonna downplay the 50 months. And when does sentencing become, why are they acting like this is a new baby or something? Like this is a toddler. 50 months? I don't understand why they just didn't say 4 years. It was very weird. The whole situation was very weird. And I felt like the reason why the press released it as 50 months is because it sounds longer than what it is when if they would have just released it and said 4 years. Did you catch that? But yeah, he got off, y'all. If you know, then you know he got off. But let's move on. Let's talk about Gina.
Okay, guys, I have to talk about this. I know Diddy's sentencing is over, but I just found out yesterday Gina actually showed up at Diddy's sentencing hearing. I have wondered since the second that prosecutors said Gina went missing, if the prosecution figured out that Gina was like a rogue witness. And now after Gina has wrote these 2 letters and also showed up in person at Diddy's sentencing, I feel like this could be a huge possibility. Here's the video that the Shade Room captured yesterday of her literally at Diddy's sentencing. And it's just like, what are you doing, girl? What are you doing? And then what had me thinking this even more is the fact about what she wrote in her letter the day before sentencing to help get Diddy released. First of all, how she says, "No one asked me or told me to write this letter, but I felt my voice should be heard as I was identified as victim number 3." That is a very odd thing to say in the first couple of sentences to the judge.
I just have one question for the ladies. Do you think, oh, federal time is always in months? I've never seen it like that. But let's stay focused. Do you think a man would write letters to a judge for a woman? Put a 1 in the chat if you think yes. Put a 2 in the chat if you're like, no.
She explains that I
Hell no.
fully cooperated with prosecutors and met with them 3 times, answered questions, gave them all information and evidence I had, including pictures, videos, and text messages from my phone. But then she would go on to claim that the prosecutor started making her feel like she was a victim and she basically didn't believe that she was a victim. But that's obviously odd when we know before Gina went missing, like prosecutors said, they said that she was ready to testify against Diddy with her name being known to the public. And then this really started having me questioning if this was possibly like an elaborate plan that was set in motion from the very beginning. Possibly working with prosecutors on purpose because you know they're going to reach out to you because of the public interviews that they admitted that they watched of her talking about Diddy on Tasha K. And then she knew at the end she was going to flip and try to save Diddy. Very interesting because it makes me think about Jane's testimony in the criminal.
And I was just about to say that it kind of reminds me, that's kind of what happened with Jane Doe. If you know, then you know who Jane Doe is, because I accidentally exposed her name. I won't do it in this live so that I can keep this public, but Jane Doe, it seemed after her testimony, that's when things took a oddly weird turn. And it doesn't seem like anyone is kind of catching that, but I feel like the same thing would have happened if Gina would have testified. So, but she just completely disappeared. So, I wonder where that makes her stand. Like publicly, we know where she's standing with the letter, but mentally and emotionally, I wonder where that places her because I don't think that that's her true feelings. If it was her true feelings, then why not just testify? I don't understand. Under oath.
Trial where she started talking about when Cassie Ventura's lawsuit came out, she read it and she was upset with Diddy
Yeah,
because
you
she
could
kind
tell.
of realized this is the same exact thing that I've been going through. And there was that phone call that was placed to Jane by Diddy that he was recording and kept saying, "You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?" He was talking really weird, basically telling Jane that it was mutual. And then Jane even testified that Diddy would end up buying her a lawyer, and there for a while she didn't even work with prosecutors. Around the same exact time that this stuff was happening with Jane, Diddy randomly follows Gina on Instagram after Gina had him blocked after the fallout with Young Miami. And I talked about this already, but this was reported by multiple sites. And the feds confirmed they started this investigation into Diddy in December, the same time he started following.
Yeah, she had him blocked at one point. And this was around the time that they were going back and forth on social media, her and Caresha. And someone commented, "Beautiful, did you block Diddy? I see y'all no longer following each other." And then she responds, "Yes, I did." Y'all see that? So did he pay her? It's really looking like he may have paid her. Do you think Caresha got paid? Or do you think she did that out of loyalty and love? Let me know. Comment down below.
Gina. And even Tasha K came back out, throwing shots at Gina after she submitted that very first letter. And Tasha K was claiming that Gina Hunt is the one that tipped Diddy off that he was being investigated by the feds. Tasha K also alleged in a video that Gina around this time was begging Tasha K for another interview, but saying Tasha K had to pay her for it. She said it was all really odd because she doesn't pay for interviews. And she said, Gina, if you want to do an interview, you can do one for free. And Gina kept persisting that she needed money for this interview. Tasha K would go on to allege that she now felt like this was because she was going to use that to try to discredit what she said on the Tasha K podcast before. Basically like saying, I got money for this interview, so I can't be trusted because I fabricated my allegations for money. Tasha K said she never went through with that interview, and she honestly just felt really, really weird about everything that was happening. She said that Gina Hunt also admitted to her that she was in Miami, and this is when it kind of clicked for Tasha K. She said, if you're in Miami, that means you're with Diddy right now. You find this weird because this is another thing that Jane references throughout her testimony against Diddy. Jane testified that she got mad that Diddy was with a lot of different girls, and one of them was Gina Hunt. None of this is facts, I just want to talk about it, but I do find all of this just really, really odd.
I personally think Gina got paid, and I think Caresha did it out of love. The city girl, I believe the city girl did it out of love.
From admitting that you worked with prosecutors, gave them evidence against Diddy and everything. 2 weeks before trial, not wanting to use a pseudonym and wanting to testify with your name being known to the public. And then a week later, according to prosecutors, just up and going missing where they can't get a hold of you or your lawyer. And the prosecution really wasn't pushing back, trying to come after you because you were subpoenaed to bring you to testify. And I feel like the only reason they did this is because they knew that you were potentially a rogue witness. And that's just my opinion. And then now we have 2 letters in support of Diddy begging for the judge to let him free. And you also showed up at his sentencing hearing and were sitting close to his family and his friends. With everything that we've heard, how Diddy...
Now listen, I know the girls are like, I think it's the opposite. This is, you let me know why you think she received a bag or a check. The reason I don't think she received a bag or a check is because Caresha actually believes, and a lot of women do actually, that she was special, that he treated her better than everyone else, and that she was the special one, and that was the one that he wanted to marry, he wanted to settle down with, the one that he fell in love with, and the one that he treated the best out of all of the women. So I believe she did it out of favor. I don't believe that she got paid for it. I don't even, and knowing the type of mindset Caresha's in, I could also see her taking the approach like, no, I'm loyal. I'm loyal. Like, I'll just speak out just because I'm loyal and I have loyalty to you and I have love for you. I don't feel the need to take payment. I could see her doing that. So why do you think that she got paid to do it? Gina, on the other hand, Gina is not loyal. Gina went on Tasha K and she did that interview exposing their relationship on Tasha K. Caresha has yet to really expose their relationship in a real, true, transparent way. But Gina, on the other hand, is different. So I believe Gina got paid and I believe Caresha did not. But you let me know why you think that Caresha got paid. What is it besides her being a city girl? Because I'm telling you, this girl fell in love. She was catching feelings. So it can't just be off of her persona. Why do you feel like she received a check outside of just being a city girl? Because a lot of these rappers don't rap what they talk about. They don't stand on what they're portraying with their persona. So I just gotta know, like, what makes you think that she got paid?
He treated Jane and how he bought her a lawyer and all of this stuff, and she wasn't going to work with prosecutors at first, it leaves me with a lot of questions. I almost feel like this was purposely sought out to be this way, and prosecutors were played with until they realized up at the end what was going to happen. Girl, hopefully it works out for you in 3 years when Diddy gets out, but all I know is we don't want to see you back up on the internet telling us anything about you and Diddy. It always just sticks in my mind how in that Tasha K interview, she talks about how she basically always wanted to be Diddy's #1. And a lot of this was apparently happening even when Diddy was still with Cassie, because Gina said that a lot of the times Diddy would say Cassie is the good one and you are the bad one. And after all the horrific allegations that we heard Gina say on that Tasha K interview, at this point I don't know why anybody would want to stick up or be there for somebody like Diddy. But y'all, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Okay, so let me move on. But let me know. I don't think Caresha took a bag at all. I think she did it out of loyalty. That's just also me understanding Black women. I'm just being honest. We don't call the cops. We don't date out. There's a list of things that we do that based off of loyalty, where we're always getting the shortest end of the stick. And I feel like Caresha is no different than that. I mean, that's just me being honest. It may not be what Black women want to hear, but I believe that we're always loyal, even when we shouldn't be. Okay, so oh, and then okay, so Carisha has not really leveled up from this whole I dated a billionaire. And a lot of the girls are saying like she won, but I'm not really seeing her level up from the opportunity that she got by dating Diddy. Uh I don't know what happened to Carisha Please. It just seems like that stopped. There were some other things that she had going on that stopped. It seemed like a lot of her business opportunities completely stopped. So much so to the point where JT felt like it was necessary for her to part ways with Carisha. And that means that the City Girl group is no longer, to the point where they don't even get along. They're not even cool at the end of the day. So even if it came to a City Girl gig, they wouldn't even most likely take that gig unless it was necessary. But then I can also see JT kind of like, no, I'm not doing this gig with you out of spite, just because she seems to have more leadway in this situation compared to Carisha, because Carisha, a lot of people don't really want to work with her because of P. Diddy. So how did she come out on top by dating a billionaire? That's what I want to know. So this is where Carisha is today.
I don't know, sister. Are you practicing your jailhouse calls because Diddy got 50 months? Now, shout out to Live Bites because they captured Young Miami or Carisha's live stream with some very unusual guests.
The next time we get out, y'all gonna have y'all red cups. You talking too much. The man said how much the cups is. 15 for a pack. 15 y'all need the big pack because it's a bunch of y'all. So y'all need the big pack. It's 25, I think. The big pack. That's too easy. We just gonna give you an address and send them bitches too. I'm saying you gonna send them to us in here or what? No. Yeah, we gonna send them in there. And I'm not. Yeah, when I get back on, y'all better have y'all red cups. Come on. But that'll be lit. I got mine. That's gonna be too lit. Okay. Thank you. Ain't nothing in there, man. Yes, it is. Y'all need to pour a little bit more. Just a little bit.
Now, these men are incarcerated, and how they found their way to Carisha's live stream, the world may never know. But in the live stream, you could hear her saying that she was going to send them some of her red Solo cups, a part of her brand, and the next time they get on live stream with her, they better have them present. Now, if you guys didn't know, her man was sentenced on Friday to 50 months in prison. And if you're asking if she's claiming this man, she actually is. She had posted a post about Josh Allen on her account, and somebody had quote tweeted and said he's married, referring to the Buffalo Bills player. Carisha had replied back and says, I don't want him, boo. I'm taken as well. Which all explains why Carisha.
Now, what were y'all saying? What was y'all saying? What was y'all saying? What was y'all saying? Then this is another thing too. This we gonna get into it. I need y'all to understand, because we got to get into the letter that she wrote. I need y'all to understand that I can tell when a man has gotten into a woman's head because she's doing things that she normally doesn't do, or she's going against who she portrayed herself to be, or how, oh, a man can't ever play me, a man can't ever get on me, and the whole time getting played. Like, we can tell. Okay, Jasmine Brown is a great example. I could literally tell that Cam was speaking through her just by some of the things that she was just saying. Like, honestly. So even within the letter that she got from Chat GPT, I was like, oh my God, this man is all up in her head. I could just tell.
Is doing a live stream with these random prisoners because she's probably trying to like acclimate herself to talking to her man vis-a-vis like a jail cell. Anyways, if the Buffalo Bills didn't lose, we never would have known that Carisha was doing jailhouse calls with prisoners.
This is crazy. Okay, so let's go back, because we have to go back. First, let's get into the letter that she wrote with Chat GPT. And I'm not reading the whole thing, but this content creator really pointed this out to me because this was crazy.
Okay, guys, I need to talk about this because I was scrolling on Twitter and I saw that Caresha, Young Miami from the City Girls, decided to send in a letter to the judge who is handling the Diddy trial. And she basically sent in a letter vouching for him, saying that he should be allowed to go home while he's awaiting trial. And I think the contents of the letter actually encompasses why women like Caresha are so dangerous. You know, black women like that specifically, who just mammy the fuck out of black men, no matter
Ooh.
how destructive they are. They can literally abuse, rape, murder, and they will still lend them their bosom to, like, it's just so, like, let's just get into it. So I'm not going to read the entire thing.
And I just want to add that black women, all it takes is you having one too many baby daddies. It only takes you having one too many kids. It only takes you having one too many sex partners. It only takes you having one mistake in your life. And there's no man, there's no black man. All you have to do is date out of your race, sis. So I could go on and on and on. The list is long for us. There is no list for them. There's no list for them. There's no deal breaker for a black woman, period. Now, when it comes to black men, they have all of these deal breakers. Hell, your waistline could be too big, too wide. Okay. It's just, it is what it is. You could be wearing weave. It's a problem. But they could literally go out and do the most interesting of crimes. That's what I will say on YouTube, and you will still be there. They could do the most horrendous crimes and you will still be there, and they will be able to lay on your chest at the end of the day. Hell, there was a man that was doing death. He was on death row, or was he on death row, or he was doing 2 life terms or something like that. And there was a black woman that was there that married him in prison, and he ended up unaliving her. So it's just I don't know when it's gonna stop. I thought the whole stop worshiping black men would come to an end, but it's not. There's a continuation of that, and we see it a lot among black women still.
I'm just going to move out of the way quickly. So if you want to read the entire thing and pause, you can. But I want to talk about the parts which I've specifically underlined. So to confirm that this is her, you can see it says, "Dear Your Honor, my name is Caresha Brownlee. I'm a mother, daughter, sister, da da da." And then I want to talk about this part right here where she says, "I want to be clear that I cannot speak on or defend anything that may have happened before I met Sean Combs. I do not condone any wrongdoing." I just find that sentence specifically so mind-boggling to me, because the contents of this letter does nothing but contradict this first statement, because what you are doing, what you are saying in this letter actively is dismissing the severity of whatever things that he did before he met you. This is the thing.
Not only that, this entire letter dismisses anything that he has done or how he has treated any other woman. And I think a lot of women, because there are a lot of women, we're going to get into it. There are so many different women that think that they, for whatever reason, think P. Diddy treated her better than the other women. And I think a lot of women are confusing Caresha with, she wasn't treated that way she wasn't treated better. She was treated in a way that she was okay with. And that's what a lot of women are overlooking. Like, you have to understand that the type of woman Caresha is she wasn't treated better. She was simply treated in a way that she was simply okay with. And it was very clear that the other women were not okay with how they were being treated. A lot of women are making this about love. And I'm just like, he's a narc. Narcs don't know how to love. You have to be vulnerable. You have to show empathy in order for you to truly love someone. And narcs don't know. That's their weaknesses. Is they don't have empathy. They don't know how to be vulnerable. They only know how to be self-serving. So they honestly do not know how to love unless they go through therapy. They get better, like, self-awareness with not always being self-serving. So another thing that I notice is a lot of women are still suffering with low self-esteem because you still think that him treating her this way, which was more about control than it was about love. It was more about control, and a lot of women are confusing it. Well, he got her this and he got her that, and it's like, doesn't matter. It still was self-serving to him when it comes to his public idealization of how he built his public image. Like, that was all it was about, and she fit that. And any woman that fit into that, he was okay with controlling by giving gifts and giving flowers and going on trips and things like that. But it was still all about control, though. At the end of the day, narcs All of it is about control. When they love, it's possessiveness, it's controlling, it's manipulative. That's not love, though. That is very toxic and is very unhealthy. But I notice a lot of women think that that's love because they're getting these romantic or romanticized gestures that they always wanted from a man. But again, you're not looking at what it's attached to, which is control. You're still looking at it from, oh, but he got me this and he got me that. But it's coming with all of these strings attached. It's coming with the catch. But the girls are not focusing on that. They're just focusing on, well, he bought me flowers and he took me here and he took me there. And that does not mean that that woman was being treated better. It just means that she was being controlled. That's it.
As well, she keeps trying to do this plausible deniability of, oh, well, before I met him, I don't know what he was like. No, he was the exact same fucking person when you met him. Don't lie.
And again, back to what I was saying, a lot of women are confusing Caresha with she was treated better with she was okay with how he treats women. Okay, let's not forget the tweets that she tweeted to Gina about how B, I can make you get on your knees and you will have to munch some carpet. Like, she's cool with that. She's cool with that. And then a woman like Caresha, who hasn't done any healing on herself, like she's really from the streets. And I'm not here to make fun of where she's from or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, a woman that's truly from the streets like that, she doesn't know what healthy looks like. She only knows abuse. She only knows toxicity. She only knows how to be transactional with men. She doesn't know anything better than that. She doesn't know how to be treated like an actual lady. She only knows how to get money. She only knows how to survive. She only knows how to do what it takes for her to have food on her table the next day. It's not, she doesn't really know what it means to be treated like a gentleman. So again, it's like we're expecting something of someone that doesn't even know how to recognize it if it was to really slap her in the face, if she were to even get access to that. And that's no shade or anything. It's just if she were to level up and work on herself, maybe even get some therapy, she would be able to recognize that type of treatment and that type of love where it's not transactional and it's not all about control. But she only knows transaction, control, and then she thinks that when a man is showing special treatment or loyalty towards her, she thinks that that's what love is. But what she is not understanding when it comes to Diddy is he's only doing that because it fits within his self-serving ideation, ideation of what he expects from her or like what he wants from her. It's really just about him. It's not really about Caresha at all. She just fits into that. She fits into his world. And that's it. And then because she fits into his world based off of who she is and what she's okay with and what she's cool with and how she's being treated, he loves her. Like, that's what people are confusing as love. Like, he loves her, but really it's all about control and being a servant. That's it.
I know that when you do these kinds of letters vouching for somebody, you're supposed to speak positively of them. But saying this and then for you to basically say that in your letter, well, he's a good person and he's been changing and he's a changed person, so it doesn't really matter about his character in the past. He should be able to go home and basically evade accountability. Because to me, that is what I take this letter as. I take this as her trying to say that he does not deserve to face the full ramifications of what he has done. He should not have the comfort of awaiting trial at his home when he's done all these things and ruined so many people's lives. So the fact that Caresha is essentially advocating to soften the blow for him, to me, just shows that she doesn't take anything he did seriously at all.
And she has consistently been in this relationship. I just need y'all to understand that too. Caresha never broke up with Diddy. You have to understand that, okay? She never broke up with this man. She wore that necklace in her interview when she sat down with Santana, and that told me everything I needed to know, that she was still in relations with Diddy. Maybe not publicly, maybe even not vocally. Like, maybe they weren't communicating during that time, but they never broke up. Like, I just need y'all to understand that right now. They never broke up. Also, another thing that I'm noticing about Caresha is her mindset is being exposed. She is a male identified pick me. It is what it is, right? She's putting her career on the line. She's putting her career on the line, her image on the line. She's putting all of these things on the line, but she never defended JT. She knew JT from way back when, but she never defended JT publicly. Never. But Diddy, you still defending him. Why? Like, that's crazy to me. Okay. So she defends Diddy, but she doesn't defend JT. Noted. Also, another thing that I want to talk about too is a lot of women, and let me go ahead and pull this up because I want y'all to understand. And yes, I am going to use Chat GPT because I asked Chat, I'm like, can a narcissist love? And it gave me a whole breakdown. Okay. And so it states here, let's see. Okay, so Chat said they can love, but not in the way most emotionally healthy people experience or express love. So, the type of love narcissists experience, narcissists often confuse attachment, admiration, control with love. They may say, I love you, and even believe it, but their love is usually conditional and it's self revenge. It's also like, it's like, what's the right word? It's, it's self-preserving. Like, it's all about self, like centering self. I love you because of how you make me feel. I love you when you reflect back the version of me I want to see. Okay. Like, it's very, I hope I'm making sense because it's kind of complicated. It's like they don't love in the way that we do, right? Like, we love people for who they are. We love people for how they treat us, right? But for a narc, it's the other way around. Like, it's like, well, how do you make me feel? And what can you do for me? And how can you serve me? And how can you make me feel better about myself? Like, it's all about self preservation rather than true emotional intimacy. So it says why true love is hard for them. Love requires empathy, vulnerability, and also reciprocating on their end. So, all things narcissists typically struggle with. They fear vulnerability because it threatens their carefully built self image. So, they don't want to overexpose themselves where you can really see them. So, they hide parts of themselves from you. They may even come across like they're being vulnerable, but really they're masking their vulnerability even while being vulnerable, if that makes sense. Empathy is limited because their focus is on their own needs and how others fit into their world. And then also when the initial idealization phases, they often feel bored, disappointed, or threatened, may withdraw, devalue, or replace their partner. So basically, what we're seeing is Caresha was still in that idealization phase where she was fitting his needs at that time. And one thing that I noticed is like she started dating him in the summer of 2021 and then the spring of 2023. And that mirrored the short public relationship that Jennifer Lopez had in 1999 to 2000. I feel like their relationship, based off of the time frame, it mirrors each other. But Cassie's relationship, which was from 2007 to 2018, to Kim Porter's relationship, and as you know, that was a lengthier relationship. So again, like it never reached that point where he got bored or he got disappointed or he was threatened and May felt the need to like withdraw or devalue her. And again, it was just based off of the timing. It wasn't really based off of anything other than that. So again, like it's like women are saying, oh, I really think he loved her. But in reality, it's just he never got bored of her yet because everything was really working out in a way that benefited him. Like he was able to connect to the younger audience. He was having her promote his alcoholic beverage. He also was able to make a song with her. He was also able to just make a lot of money with her. So basically, even though he was giving to her as a means of control, he was also being self-served in a lot of different ways too. It was not mutual at all. And a lot of women feel like it was mutual. To a billionaire, no, it was not mutual at all. But Chad is saying that some can change if they're self-aware. Not all narcissists are incapable of growth. They didn't say incapable of love. Chad said incapable of growth. And I was like, wow, really? So those with some self-awareness, especially covert or vulnerable narcissists, can begin to understand how their behavior hurts others and can, through therapy, learn what healthy love looks like. So they would have to learn empathy, accountability, and how to give without control or agenda. And in my honest opinion, I don't feel like Diddy has shown that he has really changed that much. I mean, a man that is arrogant enough to schedule a speaking engagement a week after your sentencing, like that tells me that you're still in your narcissism. Like you still, and then you're doing something as because he was going to go talk to he was doing a speaking engagement to speak with prisoners to help them with entrepreneurship or something like that. So he was doing it once again in a way, an agenda, in a way to where he's trying to appear like, oh, he's selfless and he's so helpful and he's changed. And the whole time, again, it's self-serving. So that's the relationship that he had with Caresha.
Which actually corroborates the rumors about her allegedly being a right-hand man for him while they were dating, which I believe fully at this point. And then I want to talk about the part where she says, I'm writing this letter because I believe it's important for the court to know the side of Sean that isn't always seen or spoken about. You mean the side of him that you saw after he had done these wrongdoings in the past? Okay. And then ignoring all this jargon, this paragraph specifically where she talks about, oh, you know, at the Met Gala, he made sure that black people were being represented and had doors opened for them so that we were seen and heard and valued.
Have you seen the black people on social media that keep pointing to all the work that he's done for the black community? And I'm just like, how delusional does the black community have to be? Why is it that the black community is always about, oh, if a black man wins, we all win, but the black community never sees it? All of the artists that he has worked with, where are they today? Like, what did he really do for the black community though? Like, why are people trying to gloss that part over? Like all of the black artists that he's literally screwed over. But he was such a help to the black community. He opened up so many doors, so many pathways. He was really for the culture. Like you hear all these black people say that, and I'm just like, he's just a black man. That's it, with money. That's it. Like, why are y'all trying to make it seem like he was some activist for the culture and in the community? No, he wasn't. He was self-serving and he got rich off the backs of black people. I mean, you see that all the time. Like you see that playbook all the time where black men will literally get their fame from the black community and then they'll code switch, leave the black community behind because now they got money. We see it all the time. We see it with athletes. We see it with rappers. We see it with entertainers. I don't know how many careers have been built off of black women. And then once they get a little money, then they marry a non-black woman. Like we've seen it. Like why are people trying to make it seem like, oh, he did all of these great and amazing things when he screwed over more black people than he has helped? That's just the facts.
Not too fast, because I remember when I saw headlines about Diddy giving royalties back to all the artists under Bad Boy Records who he was thieving and robbing before. Like literally, it's been public knowledge for years that this record label in which he was mainly signing black artists, black people, right? Unfair compensation, low royalties, minimal publishing rights. You were essentially exploiting them. You had a record label where you were just exploiting black people. I mean, it was so bad that...
And then I also need black women to also understand, and women as a whole, that this is a man that doesn't know how to treat people better, period. He only knows how to exploit them. That's it. That is it. He only knows how to exploit. So he was, what a lot of women don't see is that he was exploiting young Miami. He was exploiting her. And then he does the same game with all of the people, like the artists, from his assistants to his chef to like anyone that worked around him. Like he always would tell them, "Oh, I believe in you and I'm for you. I support you. I'm here for you. I'm this, I'm that." Just to later tear them down and control them because his agenda was self-serving.
One of your biggest groups, an R&B girl group, had a member literally file a lawsuit against you for unpaid wages, missing tour fees, literal sexual assault, and financial exploitation. But I'm supposed to believe that, he's putting black people on. He's putting black people on. He would do the charities, Thanksgiving charities. Oh, please, he was doing that shit for a tax write-off. Shut up, man. And then this part is not that important, but I just thought it would be funny to highlight it. She says he also gave me a voice by providing a platform for me on his network. Because this is what you are doing with said platform. This is the voice that he gave you to say that you enjoy golden showers. That's the voice that he gave you. Okay. And then I want to talk about this part where she says many moments where he gave quietly, privately, without cameras because his heart genuinely wanted to help. Because here she's talking about how they gave back to the community, how they have fed the homeless together and whatever. And I just find it funny that she thinks he's doing that for genuine reasons. Like, again, the Thanksgiving charity thing. He is doing that for a tax write-off. That is for financial reasons. It's completely financial.
But I don't expect for a woman who doesn't understand the gifts that she received was also a tax write-off. It was business. It was petty cash. Like she doesn't even see herself as a tax write-off when it comes to the business that he was conducting with her, the gifts that he was buying her. I keep trying to tell y'all that that's the oldest trick in the book. A billionaire is going to buy you gifts and make it a tax write-off.
Motivated. For you to think that he's doing that to genuinely help somebody, it's just comical to me. And then this part is the real kicker, where she says, in my personal experience, Sean is not a danger or threat to the community. Mind you, there is literally video evidence of him abusing Cassie, assaulting her, dragging her by her hair, and making multiple threats towards her.
But then not only that, lied about it.
And that's not even including the multiple witness testimonies that have been made in court of people corroborating the fact that this man was very dangerous.
And violent.
I mean, did Kid Cudi literally not go on the stand to talk about how he had his car blown up because he dared to show interest in Cassie? And then I want to talk about this part where she mentioned he is a man of God, because something really needs to be said about how Christianity, just religion, but Christianity specifically in this scenario, is used as a safe haven for abusers. Because not only because of the way that
and you know, it's all about forgiveness, repenting, and all of that.
Religion, Abrahamic religions, the church is set up patriarchally. It is a perfect place for an abuser to take advantage of basically finding sanctuary in the religion after he does these terrible things, right? Using the patriarchy to his advantage to be able to subjugate and abuse women, to terrorize them.
And this is why I've said and I've told women that when it comes to your empathy, you need to have boundaries with that. A lot of women don't believe that they should have boundaries with their empathy. Then you're going to be abused. Point blank, period. I mean, you have to understand how this system operates. It doesn't matter if you're in a religious space, you will be abused and you will be taken advantage of when it comes to your empathy. It could be at work, you could be abused, you could be taken advantage of because of your empathy. It could be you just walking down the street minding your business and your empathy is being weaponized against you because you don't have any boundaries when it comes to your empathy. And people are easily able to guilt trip you and to making you feel bad for them, and then you will give in and you will give in to an abuser unknowingly, or you will give in to someone that is wanting to take advantage of you unknowingly. And it is because they are weaponizing your empathy against you, which is why you should have boundaries when it comes to your empathy.
Because tell me what exactly is godly about a man who denies abusing women until there is concrete proof, video, hard evidence of it coming out, to which then he decides to use your religion as a scapegoat. And there's really people who have the audacity to applaud and say, this is a real man of God. And I'm going to be honest, this whole thing can even be tied into how a lot of black people in general just see black celebrities, rich black people, as people who are in community with them. The reality is that these people are not in community with us. They
At all. Like, you would never be able to get away with what he was able to get away with. Like, honestly, that's what it is for me. You're never going to be able to get away with what he got away with, because he got off. He only got 4 years. That's him getting off. That is him getting off. A lot of black people expected him to walk. And then even your expectation was for him to walk. But would you walk? No. Your ass would be locked up, still locked up 10 years later. So I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand why we, as regular folk, not the rich, not the wealthy, why we always want to make it seem like they're a part of us and they're a part of our community and they're for us and they advocate for us. No, they entertain us. That's it. They just entertain us. They don't advocate for us. They're not activists. They're not politicians. They're none of that. They are simply a entertainer. That is it. That is it. They do a good job of making it seem like, they're one of you or you're one of them. And, I grew up with you. But at the end of the day, they live differently. They sleep differently. They raise their kids differently. Everything about their lifestyle is totally different. And experience is totally different than yours. I'm sorry. Then another thing that I want to play too is, where is this one? Is it uh I want to talk about how he had Caresha doing the freak offs. Because a lot of people are like, oh, he didn't have Caresha do the freak offs. Yes, he did.
Caresha lets us know Diddy doesn't tap out. He is the Energizer Bunny, which may explain why she shares him with other women. There's enough Mandingo to go around the love cult.
So how many rounds you be going?
You know.
The people don't.
You know them.
I know, but the people don't.
Okay, so
I'm
what's the answer?
asking for the people.
What's the answer? What's the answer?
Baby, let me tell y'all something. On the witch yacht. This nigga don't go to sleep. I be like, God damn. I'm gonna tell y'all something. For real. I really thought that I was gonna like make him tap out. Like I really thought he was gonna be being out no chest. This nigga don't go to sleep. Like I be like, nigga go to sleep.
Treated better? No, she was simply okay with it. Also, I'm gonna say it very bluntly. Okay. If the kids are around, put me on mute. Okay. This man's dick does not get hard unless there is another man in the room with baby gravy that he can smear around. I need the girls to stop being naive. You heard those testimonies. That man cannot get hard. That man cannot get hard unless he sees another man getting hard. That man cannot get hard unless there is another man in the room that he can jack off to. Stop being naive. She was definitely participating in the freak offs. Point blank, period. Sometimes it's not what people say, it's what they don't say. And then it's also looking at the information and the details and critically thinking, like, wait a minute. If this happened over here and then this happened over here, wait a minute. So that means, yeah, that's how you put two and two together. Because when I heard the testimonies, I was like, damn, it seemed like this man cannot get it up unless there is another man in the room that he can watch. And he like gets off to that. And that was like almost every encounter. And we always know that when it's a long night, right? It's most likely because he's having a freak off. So that's why I'm just like, she was okay with it. I think a lot of women are confusing the fact that Caresha was okay with it. She wasn't treated any different or any better. She was just okay with it. I think the only thing she did not experience was physical abuse. And that was because she was Young Miami. She was Caresha. So he knew not to put his hands on her. He may have been a little aggressive with her at times. And she's kind of used to that because, again, she's from the streets. But I don't think he slapped her around. I don't think he was laying his hands on her like that. But everything else, like, she was cool with that. And that's why she addressed Gina the way that she did on Twitter when they had their little back and forth.
I be like, God damn. I'm gonna tell y'all something. For real. I really thought that I was gonna like make him tap out. Like I really thought he was gonna be being out no chest. This nigga don't go to sleep. Like I be like, nigga, go to sleep. You gotta be energized, you gotta be charged up like a Tesla.
When you going off the grid with me, you gotta go to sleep for a week.
Yeah, because it's definitely giving no sleep.
All this is just.
And then people were gaslighting me because I was like, oh, it's that man. I'm really having a mental breakdown right now. This was back in, I think, 2022. Haven't slept in days. Like, I'm tired AF and don't feel like doing nothing today. My energy is off. That sound like Jane Doe's testimony, too. Then, this is another thing, too. Because this was said, Santana said this at the beginning of this year, around January. He did an interview on a podcast.
We used to laugh like, this old man, Caresha, how you bumping to Diddy?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Oh, y'all was like laughing because he
We
was
used to laugh
old.
at him. Yes, he used to call her a queen. And
Not Grand Rising Queen.
yes, we used to be like, ew. And it was just so funny, but he treated her so good.
Yeah.
He treated her so good. And he was still dating other women like
This is why I said it's the mindset. So when you hear Caresha say, he treated me so good, he treated me so good, listen to how Santana, with these long ghetto nails, listen to how he explains how he treated her so well. Like, that's what was so crazy. I was like, that's why who y'all listening to, you don't need to be listening to, because they don't know what it means to be treated well. Okay? Listen to what he has to say. I was like, this is being treated well? Okay.
And he was still dating other women like when she first started talking to him. And he was honest about it. He was like, yeah, I got other little what's names. But my girl ain't play. My girl sitting in the paint and she washed everybody out. I said, bro, ain't nobody but you left, babe.
Yeah.
But she washed everybody out. I said, bro, ain't nobody but you left, babe.
Yeah.
But this was mad because that wasn't her experience.
Mm-hmm.
He never put. First of all, Caresha has been through domestic violence twice.
The way Lex and them are like, okay.
So that's not even something that
she plays with
at all.
Mm-hmm.
He never put his hands on her.
That's the only thing that I believe is true. I don't think he ever really put his hands on her, but I do believe he wasn't treating her all that well. Again, her standards are very low. I'm sorry. As long as he was paying, she was okay with a lot of stuff. She was okay with a lot of stuff. And then this situation when she had her mental breakdown.
People really make up stories and believe it. Y'all make up so much, so many scenarios in y'all head about me, and y'all really believe it. Like the shit I be reading about me online, I be like, yo, I had a mental breakdown because of some shit that I was going through in my personal work life, like about work, like some shit I was going through. It had nothing to do about a man. Y'all really think I'm dead?
And this is what the girls are not talking about. If JT wanted to expose Caresha, she could, in the worst way. And I think that's the reason Caresha doesn't really go at JT like that. Like, she just doesn't defend her. But if there's ever a time where Caresha actually jumps in, oh, because that's what y'all not thinking about. And one thing I know about JT is a hothead. That girl is a hothead. So I already know that if she pokes that bear in JT the right way, ooh, we don't know what could fall out. We don't know what's going to come out of that bear. We don't know what's going to come out of her mouth. We do not know. And I noticed that about Young Miami. Like, she kind of tiptoes around JT a lot, especially when it comes to these back and forth things. Because I'm pretty sure Caresha would love to like. I'm pretty sure she would love to subliminally tweet something in the midst of that back and forth online, but she knows not to play that game with JT, because JT could easily expose her for real, for real.
To have a breakdown about a man and get on the internet and tweet it, it's never that deep. Like, people go through real life. Y'all really get on the internet, make things up, and then be hard down arguing in the comments about it. Like, oh yeah, no, y'all don't know me. Shut up and stop speaking for me. Stop speaking for me. Don't speak on me. Because y'all don't know me. Y'all know what I got going on.
And then another thing that I noticed about, if you ever want to catch a good liar will tell some truth and a lie. So I noticed that she ended up addressing Kevin Gates about the feet pic that was posted, and everyone thought that she was with Kevin Gates at that time, and she wasn't with Kevin Gates. And so she decided to address the toes, but she did that to mix in something that is undeniable. That's what good liars do. They mix in something that's undeniably true with a flat out lie. And that's when I caught her in her lie. I'm like, oh, so you have to address an obvious truth, like undeniable truth, to combat with what you're lying about. Got it.
And them not my toes. Like, y'all can clearly see that I'm not my toes. That girl is like a whole light skinned girl. I am a brown skinned girl. That's not me. Like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. FYI, go on my Twitter, go down my tweets. I've been tweeting about, and I've been going through. Stop making everything about a man. A man is, I'm not no weakening these. Like, y'all really think that about me? Y'all.
Caresha. Like, this is what another lie mixed in with an obvious truth.
Like, y'all really think that about me? Y'all really think that I'm just like a weak bitch? They can never give you that.
That's crazy. Okay, well let's continue. All right. So a lot of people were like shocked about the whole situation with the letter, but I wasn't really shocked about it. I don't know why people were shocked about it.
Caresha, I really hope that P. Diddy takes care of you for the rest of your life.
That's what I hope too.
I do. I hope you get unlimited freak offs, unlimited bags and shoes, and I hope you get that, girl, because it's what you desire, clearly, and what you deserve. What I am learning from the Careshas of the world, and honestly from a lot of other women as well, is that there are bad bitches and then there are powerhouses. And when you're just a bad bitch, you really don't have no choice but to align yourself with abusive men. You really don't have no choice but to let these men use you and pimp you out and parade you around. Because there's no way you can think you're ever going to be able to scale that business, relate to or get the sales you want from the same demographic you're going against. Like, it's one thing to just be quiet.
And Caresha right now is in a very tricky position. Okay. So she has to wait 4 years for Diddy to come out, right? And she has to wait those 4 years. She has to hold it down for those 4 years. But then another thing too is, okay, she waits the 4 years. There's no guarantee that she's gonna be popular enough to then put him on in a way to where he would benefit. So he may not even go after her when he comes out. He may go after a younger woman. Like, that's what this is what I need the 304s to understand, is that when you choose the 304 life, there's a younger 304 that you will always have to compete with. And there's way more 304s. Like, and it's because you're subjecting yourself to this lifestyle, which is based and rooted off of only male validation. There's no retirement plan in that. That's why you see Brittany Renner right now. She's upset that her son is only getting like 5K a month. She's requesting 30K a month. And it's because she was really banking on scoring big with PJ Washington to the point where she would be good for the rest of her life. That didn't go according to plan. And so now she doesn't have no type of real retirement plan in place. Things are more expensive. Business may be slow for her, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so checks are not coming in like they used to. And so she's upset that she didn't get a bigger investment off of the child that she had with PJ Washington. So she's trying to send that man back to court so that she could get more money monthly. So it's just weird. It's like the girls need to understand, like, when you choose that life should only be a phase if it's necessary. And I would only choose that life if it's truly necessary. Like, you're really surviving out here. But outside of surviving, I wouldn't choose that life willfully because, like I said, it has an expiration date, and that expiration date is it's kind of like if you were an NFL player. I think the average NFL player gets the best 6 years. You don't get that long unless you start off very young. Like, it's just, it is what it is. That you get a good 6 years and that's it.
But to get on the internet and risk your connection with other women, supporting a man who was just pimping you out, baby, y'all are not that smart. And because of that, I hope these men take care of you for the rest of your life. Because it's over. It is. You hoes are idiots.
And then it's like that man is not going to take care of her for the rest of her life. And then that's another thing. I think his finances are not going to be the same once he gets out. But yeah, a lot of women think that Caresha was treated better, and I don't see it.
Pardon my appearance, but I'm about to flat iron my hair. Anyways, I want to say this in reference to the Diddy trial, right? I saw somebody say that Caresha said that was not the experience that she had when she was with Diddy. How he was treating Cassie and other people. That's not what Caresha went through. Somebody in the comments said that she's a liar. She probably did. She's just scared, or she's just not a girl's girl. I believe Caresha. Okay.
And what a lot of people have to understand is it was clear that those women were treated poorly because that's what they felt about how he treated them, right? But Caresha does not feel that way about how he treats women. He's like, oh, that's not that bad. Remember when Caresha was on Instagram and she was in the gym or whatever, and someone commented and said, yeah, the commenter was like, yeah, she's in the gym. She's not on the stand playing the victim, right? So Caresha doesn't even see those women as victims. So why would she see herself as a victim? So yeah, I believe Caresha, in her delusional mind, traumatized, toxic mind, that she wasn't treated bad. Even if she was, she doesn't think that she was.
I 100% believe Caresha, and I'll tell you why. I have had boyfriends that have beat the living daylight out of their women, but did not even raise a hand, let alone their voice to me. Okay? Because I will tell, honey. I will tell. I also believe that a lot of men know who they can and cannot get away with certain things with. Okay? I'm not saying I'm Billy Badass. That's not what I'm saying.
And just based off of how Caresha is defending him, do you think that he could get away with stuff if he really wanted to with her? Because that's what I'm trying to teach women when it comes to these conversations, is that once a man sees that you go along with a lot of stuff, it just hasn't gotten to that point where he's going to test you to see if you'll go along with this or you'll go along with that. Like, he just hasn't tested you to that level yet. But just know that the day is coming. He, again, was only with Caresha for a short period of time. He wasn't with her that long. So it never got to that point where he's testing her. Right now, he's testing her. And that's why I also believe she didn't take a payday when it came to this letter that she submitted to the judge. So, I need women to understand, like, once that man catches that you the cool chick, you the down chick, and you the ride or die, and you willing to do whatever to prove your worth and prove your loyalty, they're going to take advantage of that.
But I believe that they know. Not to mention, I got 2 sons. They know, like men know. They know who to pick on and who not to. Because like I said, I got 2 sons. My sons aren't going when it comes to their mama. They're not going, okay? But I 100% believe Caresha. I believe that her experience with Diddy was not anything, not even scratching the surface of anything that Cassie or any nobody else, even like the band members, the old band members, how poorly he treated them, and he probably made.
I'm like really shocked that women are this delusional. Like, honestly. So he treated everybody bad. The chef, the assistant, hell, the marketing director under Bad Boy Records, hell, his artists, hell, even his kids at times. And you're saying when it came to Caresha, he just treated her perfectly? Nothing. Not even up when he's angry or impatient. Like, no way. Like, he never raised a voice at her at all. I am not buying that. On drugs too. Let's keep that in mind. Cause they was out here doing drugs together. I need the girls to stop being this naive. Like, I really do. I really do. Because when you're dealing with a drug addict, and we all know that he's a drug addict, that was exposed, right? When you're dealing with a drug addict, there's a lot of highs and there's a lot of lows. And sometimes you don't know what those lows are going to look like. And sometimes you don't even know what those highs are going to look like. So you want to tell me that all the times that they hung out, she didn't see nothing. I'm not buying that at all. I'm not buying that.
Advances towards many of them, male or female. But I believe Caresha. I believe it. I know people are like, she's not a girl's girl. I don't believe that Caresha seems like she's too supportive in reference to Cassie or any other victim in this situation with Diddy, which I feel is in poor taste. But hey, that's her. You know what I mean? The universe has a funny way of balancing itself out. Okay? A very funny way of balancing itself out. So
I think black women have an obsession, and this is my unpopular opinion. I think black women have an obsession with believing that Caresha was treated better because of Cassie and Gina because their preferences. I just got to be honest with you. But the thing that irritates me with that point of view and that perspective is that what about the other black women before him? Because in in the 90s to the early 2000s, he was out here dealing with black women. He treated them just as bad, if not worse. If anything, they probably got the worst of it. So it's like we just skipped that era. We hop right into his obsession with Asian women, I guess you could say, or racially ambiguous women, and we hop right back into Caresha, and she's supposed to be special. Why are we doing that? Like, I'm telling you, there's an extreme obsession, and this is unpopular, with black women wanting to actually believe that, but it's very delusional because this man was an abuser. If he didn't abuse her in the way that he abused the others, a black woman did get abused. So I don't even know why it even matters. They were even discussing like, oh, I believe that he treated her so different, which I don't think that he did. I think she was okay with it. I think he came across a black woman that was down for whatever, as long as she was getting paid. And that's it. I think that that's the only difference. And when you think about the other women too, in their testimony, they weren't okay with the treatment. They thought that they were getting themselves involved in a situation where they were going to fine dine, travel, go shopping and all of this stuff and be able to sleep with this man, right? And that's it. They didn't think they were going to have to deal with all of this other stuff. And so Caresha, she already heard about his reputation. I feel like she heard things in the industry and things like that. And so she also is in her ego, right? Because another thing that I want to point out too is she's so much in her ego that she was like, dang, I thought I was going to be the one that was going to outlast him. I thought I was going to be the one that was going to show him. But no, like you actually need downtime. Listen to
Caresha lets us know Diddy.
This nigga don't go to sleep. I be like, God damn. I'm gonna tell y'all something. For real. I really thought that I was gonna like make him tap out. Like I really thought he was gonna be being out no chest.
So she also has like a little ego on her too, that she can outperform, that she can do better than the next woman, that she can do better than any other woman that came before her. So she's carrying that as well. That's why I'm just like, her being treated better is just her being okay with it because she went into it with having an expectation and even her ego was attached to it. But she probably thought, oh, he's not that bad. Or, oh, you hoes probably never had to deal with a trick, or you never had to deal with a John or anything like that. Like, he's nothing. Like, I can deal with him, da 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 da. But again, she never dealt with a billionaire though. Like, a billionaire has power that a John just does not. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not the same, y'all. a street man, John, Trick, or whatever, it's just not going to be the same as a man like a billionaire who has power and just has so much leisure and control. And he has the control because of his money. So I just think that she bit off more than she could chew. But again, I really think she went into it with, I'm okay with whatever, I'm down with whatever, as long as I'm getting paid.
Nigga, don't go to sleep. Like, I be like, nigga, go to sleep. You gotta be energized, you gotta be charged up like a Tesla.
When you going off the grid with me, you gotta go to sleep for a week.
That's crazy. But again, so yeah, she was participating in those freak offs. I want to get into Taylor Swift. I was not expecting to talk about this, but I had to talk about it because I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I was in my bed rubbing my feet together, just cackling and just keying away. The girls are not feeling the new Taylor Swift album. I haven't listened to it. I have never really listened to Taylor Swift. She just sounds like a 16-year-old girl, American girl, and I just never really related to her at all with her music. Plus, I always felt she was very like mediocre. Like very basic. I'm like, y'all are really selling out stadiums for her, like her performances. I don't feel like she has that rhythm. I don't feel like she got that soul. It's just like I never really gravitated towards her music like that. I mean, there may be one song that let me see what songs I actually have in my playlist when it comes to Taylor Swift. But I'm telling you, it gives Forever 21 when you're 16 again shopping in Forever 21 and a Taylor Swift song comes on. That I think that's the last time I've heard of Taylor Swift. Yeah. We Are Never Getting Back Together. I don't know. Like I just never listened to her like that.
My hair is blonde. Guess I'm your all-American girl. Ooh, her hair is dark. Guess she's the cool girl that you wanted. Fuck me, fuck you, fuck we. I'm a princess in the morning, bad bitch afternoon.
Y'all making me want to go listen. Y'all are like the reactions on social media. I'm like, damn, is it that bad? Is it really that bad?
Yo, one thing I know, Kayla and Nicole having a good weekend. And I'll just leave it at that.
Now listen, y'all know I had to wash my hands with Kayla because I'm like, girl, it's time to level up. This relationship, it's been like, I think like 4 or 5 years or something crazy like that. And I felt like she was still stuck on this relationship, even if it was just what it did for her publicly. I felt like she was still stuck on this relationship. But I never thought that she would get the last laugh. I never thought. I never thought that Taylor Swift would respond with her music. That really threw me off. And then here Kayla is low-key subbing her on the low.
Nice fairy princess costume. Where'd you get it?
Actually, I'm not wearing a costume.
Oh, okay.
I got it at the Googleplex Mall.
I heard there was another one that she posted, but it was on her Instagram story or something like that, where she was lip singing that I'm a bad bitch or something like that. I didn't see it, but the girls were saying that that's what she was out here doing. So I'm just like, no, but her fans are just not feeling her music.
It's only gone down. It feels it sounds like what Taylor Swift sounds like. It doesn't sound like real songs. It sounds.
I fear this might be the biggest recession indicator. I don't like Taylor Swift's music, and that's fine, whatever. That's just for me. Usually these days, I have to like really curtail my social media experience because it's like, hey, you guys get to enjoy yourself. That's totally fine. New music, whatever. I understand that part of it. I have not seen a single video of someone enjoying this album. Okay, maybe the rapture is coming.
No, y'all. It's been 4 years, y'all, since she's been with Travis Kelce. That's crazy. It's been 4 years, y'all. So the Swifties are just not feeling this album. And I'm like really shocked about it because I'm like, the way they're describing it, I'm just like, that's how she's always sounded. Seriously. And listen, remember I said with this narcissistic collapse, there's going to be a global shift where things will be exposed and you will see yourself agreeing with people you usually don't agree with. you're going to be agreeing with people that you normally disagree with. Why are we all on the same page? I'm like, she been sounding like that. Why are y'all just now realizing that she sounds awful? I'm confused. So I believe that this is part of the narcissistic collapse.
Taylor Swift knows she's not Travis Kelce's type, and that's what the album gave me. So not only was the album trash and the lyrics were trash, it gave, I'm jealous because I'm not my future husband's type. You look at his dating history, you see all these beautiful women. You look down her dating history, you see all these mediocre looking men, and then you get to the end and Travis is her best pull. Her best pull. You look at Travis's dating history and she is his worst pull. And she's insecure because she knows that the entire internet, everyone can see that he settled for her looks-wise because she's a very famous singer and a billionaire. Which, honestly, that's game. And game recognized game. So, whatever. But she's very, very insecure about it. And that's all this album gave. Like, I'm jealous and I'm insecure, but I want to have your babies and you're mine and your dick is so big. And I was just like, is this Taylor Swift or Sabrina Carpenter? And I can't even compare her to Sabrina Carpenter because that would be so insulting to Sabrina, because that's Sabrina's niche, that very sexualized pop, and she eats at it. It seemed like Taylor Swift was taking a page out of her book, but then using like a Blake Lively view on it. I'm blonde and I should be the one that you want. And
the way people are throwing shots at Blake Lively is freaking hilarious. Like the way she just being slipped in, it's crazy. I'm like, wow, I never thought I'd see the day. But like I said, it's all about the narcissistic collapse. That is the collective shift that is taking place right now. So if you find yourself agreeing with people that you normally don't agree with, it's part of the narcissistic collapse.
I have you, but my mind is elsewhere. I don't know. She was just a fucking mess. It was just bad.
And then like, another thing too is when you go to Facebook, and Facebook is where they always are for me. I don't know why, but I follow this Chiefs page and the Caucasian women are in the comment section under, photos like these and photos like these, right? And photos like these. And the first thing that they say is, but she got the ring though. So I went and I had to ask ChatGPT. I said, can you trust someone that shifts like this, like shape shifts like this? Cause I don't think you should trust somebody like this. People are like, oh, but she got the ring. And I'm just like, are we like looking at this? This is a man you cannot trust. It's like literally two different people. And then I asked, right? Because it's healthy in relationships. It's healthy in relationships to do what is called adaptive mirroring. Okay. It signals stability when you are in a relationship and there's like some adaptive mirroring that takes place. But this is not adaptive. This is shape shifting. Like, look at this here. And then look at this. So I guess the question is, do you think that this is shape shifting or do you think that this is adaptive mirroring? I feel like I'm looking at two different people. So if you feel like it's lightly mirroring, then I guess you see this as a stable relationship. I don't see it as stable at all. That's why when people are like, oh, she got the ring, but from a shapeshifter, this is a man that can switch up on you after some money, after a bad day, like after you have his kids. Like I'm just thinking about all the times that he will most likely shapeshift around her. That is not someone I would ever trust at all. Like at all. Like the girls are putting this on a pedestal and I'm just like, I'm not seeing how Taylor Swift won it all. Like I'm seeing a woman most likely is being manipulated because he literally morphed himself into someone else, someone that she would be like attracted to. And like I said, this doesn't give adaptive mirroring, it gives shape shifting. But you let me know. This relationship does not seem real at all. So then let me see.
Great. So you wanted us to know that Travis has a big dick. At what cost? Your dignity.
And
A
then
spoiler that someone left on Patreon that I
Taylor Swift. And to the Swifties that are listening, why would this woman broadcast? And you already know what I'm gonna say. Broadcast to her audience of mainly women and the gays. Why would she broadcast her soon-to-be fiance slash husband's penis size to the world? A football player, a star football player. I'm like, girl, that's crazy. Would you do that? Because I wouldn't do that.
After hearing little snippets of Taylor Swift's album and catching that little shady piece, Opalaka, whatever that song is called, or Obliques, which kind of references or like kind of hints, throw shade at Kayla Nicole, I'm even more pressed to know why Kayla Nicole and Travis Kelce broke up, because I go back and I look at the photos of them and the videos of them and I'm like, what went wrong? Because they were such a beautiful couple and they seemed to be so deeply in love. So when news broke that Kayla Nicole
He never, I think what black women also don't want to accept about this, he never saw her as in game, y'all. That's just that he never saw her as in game. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with his stance. He's conservative. He's Christian. Do I need to continue? And, with the whole conservative movement that's going on and that's taking place in the United States right now, it's all about white Christian nationalism. Like, that is what it's about. And Kayla just did not fit that at all. So he went to a woman that does. Plus, she's filthy rich. I think a lot of black women do not want to accept that. And I've always told you that when it comes to your dating life, it's not going to mirror other women. Like, your dating life is going to be a little complicated because of the system in which we live in. So listen, it is what it is. Oh, it does give Britney Spears. It does. I don't feel like Taylor won. I'm sorry. I don't. This is actually very scary. And also, so how he shapeshifts is why I don't feel like Taylor won with this ring thing. I feel like women put a ring on a pedestal and you're not looking at the red flags because you're focused on the fairy tale and you're not focused on reality. And the reality is, this man shapeshifts. This is a man that you cannot trust. He may change up on you after pregnancy, after a bad day, if he loses money, loses an investment, doesn't get his way, he shapeshifts. But another reason why I don't trust Travis Kelce is because he allowed the public to attack his ex-girlfriend. He has yet to speak out and to defend her in any type of way. At all.
broke up with Travis Kelce. Yes, she left Travis Kelce. When that news broke, I'm like, what happened? Like, and I be wanting to know what happened in people's relationships so bad. Like, even people on Instagram that I, kind of vaguely know, but not really. I be wanting to ask somebody, girl, like, I will DM somebody and be like, girl, what happened? But likewise, like, I'm willing to give up that type of information too. But I want to know so bad, especially like when Taylor Swift was like, girl, you're engaged. Why are you throwing shots at your fiance's ex-girlfriend? Like,
and then the third thing, because there's three things: shape-shifting, and then also no integrity. Like, I was really shocked to see Travis Kelce never put out just a statement to say, hey, can you back off of my ex? Like, we're still cordial, we're friends, we're et cetera, right? But then the third thing too is the fact that Taylor just exposed that she's not secure in this relationship. Cause girl, you want to tell me that you're sitting on the side of, I got the man that every woman wants. You're sitting on the side of, I got engaged. You're sitting on the side of, I'm the American sweetheart for the Kansas City Chiefs. They adore her. They're showing her so much at games to where it's annoying Chief fans. You're telling me you got all of this on You got all of this going on, and you decide to get in the studio and write about how you're insecure because of his ex. And let me tell you something too. Both of these women, right, are in the middle of this triangulation, like this weird triangulation. It's not like a love triangulation, but it's just like, I used to date him and now she's with him type thing. But I hate to see how this conversation is about two women being pinned against each other, because you have a fucking weirdo that is in the middle of this triangulation, the one that created this triangulation, and no one seems to talk about him at all. Like, no one seems to talk about how this is manipulative as fuck. This is extremely manipulative, but no one focuses on Travis. Like, everyone is focusing on the aesthetics of both of these women, their race, their age. They're talking about who's the better choice based off of career. And the weirdo, the whack job that's created all of this conversation, nothing. Nothing at all. No one talks about him, just the women.
It just shows like, it kind of seems like Taylor's like intimidated. It kind of seems like Taylor knows something that we don't. And if I had to take a wild guess, I would say that Taylor knows that she's not Travis Kelce's type. We all know Travis, maybe we don't all know, but I know that Travis's last 3 girlfriends were all black women. So there's that. But then also, a lot of Taylor's exes are with black women or biracial women that are half black. So I wonder if that's like an insecurity that she has and is now kind of projecting that onto Kayla Nicole. Because from my knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kayla Nicole has never come out and said anything even remotely shady about Taylor Swift. I do remember her actually.
Ooh, I'm glad somebody called it. So yeah, another thing that I noticed about Taylor is she shapeshifts too, based off of her album and based off of who she's also dating. I've also noticed that. That's how she's been able to make her music. And I feel like she landed flat with this album because of who she's dating. Is this going to sound cool to him? Do you think he'll like it? Do you think he's feeling it? Do you think that he knows that this song is about him? Duh, I'm not even a Taylor Swift fan. I'm not a Swiftie. I don't even listen to her music like that, and I can tell you that that's what the hell is going on. I don't listen to her music like that. She's always doing it. Like, I'm sorry, but Taylor, she's a pick me. She's male centered. She's a very male centered woman. And I feel like she's running out of material. She is just in this position where she's getting older. She's not 16 anymore. She's not young anymore. And so I think she's just she's running out of things to talk about, to sing about. And then she ended up with a Travis Kelce who is a shapeshifter. You don't know who you're really dealing with. So I don't think she has that much to really like sing about or talk about. I think that's part of the issue too.
Coming out and saying like there's no need to compare us to, like, I dated Travis 2 years ago, like there's no reason.
Y'all, it's been 4 years. It's been 4 years. It's not 2. It's been 4 years. I looked it up.
For anybody to compare me and Taylor or be rude to her on my behalf, don't do that on my behalf, because I have nothing against the girl. I do remember her coming out and saying that on Instagram. So I'm not really understanding the shade from Taylor Swift, unless it's merely because not everybody, but a lot of people that she's dated have went on to marry or have long relationships with other black women, and now the guy she's engaged to was previously with 3 other black women. So if she just thinks like all these men have been attracted to black women, and maybe that like has created, like, birthed an insecurity between her, and maybe I'm thinking too deep about it, but it seems pretty textbook. I mean, Taylor, if you want to respond, I'd love to get your response. You can DM me. Kayla Nicole, obviously I would really love to hear why you and Travis broke up, because I really liked y'all together, but like I said, I'm on the outside looking in, so I really don't know what troubles y'all had and if you were having a good time, but I'm just nosy. If anybody has any insight, please let me know.
I feel like the reason why Taylor Swift is so successful is because she is the average American girl who ended up getting rich because of her music, because she was relatable. She was seen as relatable. Her songs were relatable, especially being in her youth. Like, a lot of things were just relatable when it came to Taylor Swift. And I feel like she represents the young, average American girl, but she's just getting older. That's it.
No, this gets worse. This gets worse. Like, because after reading this made me think about another lyric that she said of like, I'm not a bad bitch and I'm not a savage, but baby, I'll take care of you. And it was the most backhanded way of saying like, I'm not a black woman, but I'm white and I'll still take care of you. Like, by basically doing the white girl thing of complimenting to point out that there's a very difference between the two. I'm not going to say that she like it was supposed to be mean or whatever, but at the end of the day, the content.
Girl, that was microaggressive as hell. You see why I don't play about microaggression?
Of that lyric is to point out that she is not a black woman, she is a white woman. Why do you need to do that? Why do you also need to put a lyric in there that's going to lead to this woman, this innocent woman in a situation, to be harassed? And especially at that, she's a black woman. Yeah, I gotta go.
It's crazy. So then, the conversation doesn't stop because I do like to hear from women that were fans of hers because I'm just like, what are y'all out here and like what are y'all seeing? What are y'all hearing that's just so significantly different? Because I'm just like, she always sounded like that. She always sounded like a 16-year-old girl, even if she was, I don't know how old she is today, but even if she was like 30 or 28, 25. Like she always sounded like she was just a 16-year-old girl. Like she was just stuck in high school. And I'm like, okay, I'm grown. Like I don't have time to be listening to that.
Taylor Swift's new album is many things. Unfortunately, good is not one of them. I knew the album wasn't going to be good as soon as the title was revealed, but the promo pics made me curious, so I have listened to the album in full. And now, having listened to it, the album's problem is glaringly obvious. The problem is Taylor Swift is aging out of being a white girl. Before you scroll, let me cook. When Taylor was a teenager, she wanted to be a pop star, so her parents decided to take the country route. Keep in mind, this is the 2000s. Pop music was highly sexual, it was sleazy, and then you had things like bling rap. It's not a place for a little white girl. Country music, on the other hand, loves a little white girl. And she's blonde, they'll eat her up.
Damn.
So her family moved from Pennsylvania to Tennessee to launch her country career. That's why for the first several years of her career, she faked a southern accent. She was trying to fit in, seem authentic.
Yeah.
Once the pop landscape started to change in the late 2000s and early 2010s, that's when she started to transition to making pop music.
So she's a shapeshifter. Okay. So they have that in common.
And now to talk about white girls. White girls don't have sex. They don't know what that is. White girls they're cute, they're adorable, they're like dolls, they're precious, they have to be protected. Do you remember a couple months ago whenever parents would bring their kids to Sabrina Carpenter shows and then act aghast because Sabrina Carpenter, who is a highly sexual artist, was referencing sex on stage? Of course they were, because how could a short, cute little white girl who is also blonde, a blonde, cute little white girl, how could she possibly know what sex is? It's the assumption. Women having sexual freedom in
Ooh, and y'all, the reason why this shit is coming out today is because of the narcissistic collapse. Which means the privilege that a white woman carries, people are going to be able to see through that. People are going to be able to see it. People are going to be, because you have to understand, right? And I'm talking about the white woman's image. Let me make myself clear. Not the individual person, the image. The image, the image, the image. Now, can that translate into the woman? Of course, of course. But the image, people are going to be able to see beyond that privilege now because of the narcissistic collapse. And this is why, like, you see a lot of narcissistic black men in relations with who? I don't make up the rules, okay? I just look at human behavior and I see patterns.
Willingly engaging in sex is highly associated with blackness. You can see this most clearly when it comes to things like Disney and Nickelodeon stars. Miley Cyrus, she was Hannah Montana, all-American girl. And what does she do whenever she wanted to shed the Disney image and say, hey, I'm not just a little girl anymore? She releases Can't Be Tamed in bangers. Ariana Grande, another cute little white girl. What does she do whenever she wants to shed the childhood image? She releases Dangerous Woman in Sweetener. They would do things like hang out with rappers. They would incorporate black music styles into their own music. So that way whenever they'd be sexual, it's like, oh, I'm not just a little white girl anymore. And over time, they would drift away from that because that wasn't who they authentically were. They were just using that as a way to escape the chains of being a white girl. Taylor Swift has never had to do that, and why would she? She makes being a white girl so fucking profitable.
Ooh.
And the thing about Taylor Swift is that being a white girl is not just profitable for her, it's her entire brand. Because she's just, like, so awkward. And whenever she dances on stage, she's, like, bad because she's like, awkward. And she loves, like, cats and baking and, like, hanging out with her fans.
So y'all know she's bad at dancing? Like, y'all know she's mediocre? So y'all know she don't be on rhythm. Y'all know she awkward. So let's continue.
And she would likely continue with this forever, except for one small problem. Taylor Swift is 35 years old, and it's not like she's showing signs of aging or anything, but the brand of being a white girl is very much being a white girl. What happens in a few years whenever she's 40? What happens whenever she starts to get wrinkles? Once you're middle-aged, it's not cute anymore to be awkward. So she's aging out of being a white girl, but she doesn't have a brand or
Oh, okay. White girl. So little girl, a possession owned by her father, hence not being allowed to be sexual. A middle-aged daughter is another man's wife's possession. Ooh, she broke this door.
even a sense of self outside of being a white girl. Also, low-key, this is the entire key to her relationship with Travis Kelce, which is not going to go well, but
Oh, she said that I hate that man. He is using the F out of her. And I have no idea how that isn't obvious to all of you. That girl, I said the same thing. I picked the right video. I said the same thing. That's why I was like, this man, I mean, hopefully he don't take her to the cleaners. I hope that Taylor is not stigmatized to the point where she's not signing a prenup. Cause ain't no way, girl. You cannot trust this man. Look at him. Ain't no way.
that's a story for another day. And keep in mind, the world has been moving on. An artist like Sabrina Carpenter could not exist 10 years ago. There was nowhere in the pop landscape for her. For like a cute little white girl who's that sexual. It didn't exist. And then on top of that, things have been rapidly changing politically.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
people want different things from women now. And the life of a showgirl is a testament to Taylor's inability to rise to the occasion. Like on the song Wish List. Oh, everybody wants bright lights and designer things, and they want like a fat ass. But me, then we get to the chorus, but me, I just want to have all of your kids. I want to have all of your kids, and then I want to live in a house, and I want the driveway to have a basketball hoop in it for our kids. And Taylor's personal struggle between her being her own woman.
Oh, that's trad wife coded. And see, that's what I need Black women to understand. Trad wife vibes, low key. I don't need success. I just want you. Why do you think Travis is settling down with her? Why did I say earlier, like, what this is unpopular and this may come across harsh, but I'm not saying it to be harsh. I'm saying it because I'm just being honest, okay? Black women don't want to accept the fact that this man didn't choose her because she simply did not fit into the image in the space that he wants to retire in. Because you also have to know, like, yeah, Travis Kelce is like 36, but like he's coming to his he's about to retire soon. So he needed a wife that would fit that image. And the way she promotes trad wife vibes in her songs, she fits that image, even if it isn't real. Because a lot of us are like, this seems like this is going to be a business marriage, a business relationship. It probably is. It probably is. And she fits that image. She fits the vibes of a trad wife. He wants to step into this white conservative male image within his retirement. I feel like that's what they're both going for. And I believe that that's why he decided to propose to her. And that's why they're engaged. And that's why she said yes, because he also fits this white conservative Christian male that she can also retire with, because they'll probably retire around the same time. And if they make themselves a power couple, then they'll be able to get more business deals and things like that. I really believe that that's what this relationship is all about. They're going to brand themselves. This is going to be a legacy of theirs. They're going to have kids. Like, people are going to want to keep up with them even after they retire.
For our kids. And Taylor's personal struggle between her being her own woman and her being a cute little white girl is really embodied by the song Wood. It's called Wood because it's in reference to Travis Kelce's.
I wouldn't even say that she's the cheerleader. I would say like she's the nerdy geek at the school that no one really gave the chance or opportunity to, and she ended up with the jock. Like she's the, and this is no shade, but it's like, because she even said it, she's not a bad bitch. Like she right? Like she doesn't look like what the standard of beauty is, like a Kim K or something like that. She doesn't fit that standard of beauty. She's too awkward, right? Like she's not that, she doesn't have like natural sex appeal. Like she just does not have that. She tries a lot. Like she tries to be a little edgy and things, but she still comes across as awkward. And so she's like the girl that got overlooked in high school. She's the girl that no one really wanted to get to know because she wasn't cool to get to know. She wasn't in the in crowd. She couldn't date the jock then in high school. Like, no, she was probably single, wanted to date the jock, would probably be a wallflower at a prom or a homecoming dance, but no one would ever approach her. No one would want to take her to prom or to homecoming. Like she's that girl, and she ended up with the jock. Isn't there like a girl meets guy movie like that? I'm pretty sure it's She's All That, or one of them. Us millennials, you know what I'm talking about. Comment down below, like which one is it? It's one of them movies where one of the guys, well, oh, it gives freaking Edward and Bella hell. She's All That? Yeah, She's All That. Like it gives like that. It doesn't give the cheerleader. I'm sorry. And that's no shade, but we're just going according to aesthetics.
It's that. But the song isn't sexual at all, because the song isn't about sex. It's about a woman justifying the fact that she has sex. The song starts with her picking petals off of a daisy. Oh, he loves me not. Taylor portrays herself as being super insecure until Travis Kelce digmatizes her and opens up her eyes.
Oh
and
my.
keep in mind, white girls cannot be sexual beings. It's not that she has sexual feelings, it's that a man came along and unlocked it in her. The curse was lifted. You see?
This is crazy. Girl, this is what her viewers or her listeners, her fans, autonomy, acknowledgement of her own desires. So what was the curse supposed to be here? Autonomy, acknowledgement of her own desires. Think about it. So okay, that's crazy.
You see, you guys, it's not about sex at all. It's about love. His love was the key that opened my thighs. I don't have sexual feelings. I'm just a little white girl. Because this album is supposed to be her embodying her sexual energy, thus, life of a showgirl. But Taylor either feels unable or isn't willing or whatever it is you want it to be. Taylor doesn't actually embody it. She doesn't explore it because the embodiment of her sexual energy would come at the expense of the brand of Taylor Swift. It's seemingly not compatible, or at least she thinks, or her team thinks, that it's not compatible. So she has to be her own fully embodied grown woman in order to keep up with the times, but she also has to be like a cute little white girl in order to keep up with the brand of Taylor Swift. And in trying to do both, she successfully does nothing. I would be really curious to know if the album was even her idea, especially since so many of the songs sound like rejected tracks off of some of her old albums. Also, how are you gonna have an album called Life of a Showgirl and yet not a single fucking song on the album has a brass section? Showgirl music is big band, it's blaring horns, it's a hell of a lot of fun. And it just did not exist on this album.
Was this supposed to be her Lemonade? Because Life of a Showgirl, that's interesting. Like, is this supposed to be like her bad bitch type of album? Like Life of a Showgirl?
Not to mention, none of the songs actually have anything to do with being a showgirl.
She going
in. Really, not even the song The Life of a Showgirl. Like, she could have just used the word follies once, and I would have been satisfied. But discussing why the music isn't good song.
Like, it seems like this, or it seems like the Drunken Love, like Beyonce era. Like, remember Beyonce when she had the Beyonce era, and it was like Drunken Love, and she was like Drunken Love on the beach, and she was like crawling on the beach in the sand, and it was like black and white. Is this supposed to be, what album was that? I forget what album that was called. Beyonce. Is that what is this supposed to be like her version of that? That's what it kind of gives, but it landed flat.
Ironically, is not really the purpose of this video. If you have any questions or you disagree with me, please let me know. I love thinking about white women, and Taylor Swift is just, she's the embodiment of it. She really is.
Damn, she went the hell in on that. Broke that all the way down. That's why I was like, I gotta bring you into the conversation, cause that's crazy. Okay, did I play this one yet? Oh no, I did. Oh, and then he had some input too.
Taylor Swift talking bad about Travis Kelce's ex really gave me the ick. So I did some investigating, and it looks like the only other time she's talked about a current boyfriend's ex, it was about a Latina woman. As somebody who's dated every race, shape, and size, I've kind of felt the vibe that Taylor's putting off. Most of the time when I explain my dating history to my partners, it's never an issue. But there's definitely moments where I'm getting the same vibe that I'm getting from Taylor Swift right now. This super insecurity, this fascination of why would a good looking YT man date somebody that wasn't YT? We should all remember we're not too far from an era.
And then, do you think she would be this insecure if Travis Kelce didn't cosplay a black man?
Where if you were dating somebody of a different race and your parents found out, I've seen this plenty of times, to where they remove that person from that school.
Cosplaying a black man while dating either black women and racially ambiguous women that date black men?
Sent them to private school. Did whatever. And that was in Virginia for me. So I can't imagine what growing up in Nashville, Tennessee was like. Or whatever part of Tennessee she grew up in. I think it was Nashville. Yeah, I'm not calling Taylor a racist right now, but usually where there's smoke, there's fire.
Like I said, the narcissistic collapse is occurring, so you're going to be agreeing with people that you normally disagree with.
Like, as soon as she started talking about Travis Kelce's Redwood, that's when I knew it was time for me to go. It was time to go. This wasn't for me. I don't know who it's for. Maybe millennials, but not me.
Girl, and why they keep throwing the millennials under the bus? What are you talking about? Us millennials, we don't relate to this, okay? Don't put this on us. Listen, we still listening to Lemonade. We're still listening to Drunken Love. This don't got nothing to do with us. The only time we listen to Taylor Swift is when we're in Forever 21, and then Forever 21 is closed. Like, you can only shop online. The stores are closed. So we don't even hear Taylor Swift like that. I don't know, like the millennials, that's the last time I've actually heard Taylor Swift is in Forever 21.
Not me.
Charlotte Rouge? So I'm like, why y'all keep putting this on millennials? I'm like, wait a minute now.
Oh, Taylor Swift is getting canceled. This is a real life live cancellation before our eyes. I didn't even think I ever see the day. But the white women have had it. You hear me? I am just tickled reading through this thread. I said, it can't be that bad. It can't be that bad. Until Mary posted some evidence here. It is worse. Oh, Taylor, what is going on? Girl, this is horrible. It's like, well, I ain't never thought she was that great to begin with, so I'm probably biased. But when your fandom switches up on you as a collective like this, you might want to take it back to the drawing board. Because I ain't never seen the girl switch up on Beyonce as such.
Ever.
So this is definitely a problem. This is a big, big problem. In real life, I'm with Mary. Be so serious, because who's in the writing room with Taylor as she's making this hot garbage? This is horrible, though. Like,
I can make deals with the devil because my D's bigger is kind of making me wet.
Did we even try?
And you know what this gives? This gives I'm trying to compete with the women from his past. Tragic.
This is not. The girls are angry, and rightfully so. Like,
that's crazy. I don't even want to picture that. Like I said, she just doesn't have natural sex appeal. So that is awful. I don't want to envision that. I don't want to envision that at all. That's crazy.
Congratulations, Taylor haters. This is the one we've been training for. This is the one we've been training for.
This album and this moment has been remarkable, derogatory to watch for three reasons, in my opinion. One, she has in one fell swoop completely dismantled the mythos that has put her where she is. Two, she has proven my personal unified theory of Taylor Swift, which I'll get to in a moment. And three, astrology predicted all of this. So this is not going to be a short video, strap in. I'm going to start with an analogy. When I was in 10th grade, my mom went to parent-teacher conferences, and my English teacher told her, "Your son is one of the best writers I've ever had in 30 years of teaching." And my mom was like, "Oh, wow." She said, "But he has nothing to say. And the reason he has nothing to say is I think he's not even reading the books. But he's had me fooled because he's so good at technique. But I want you to let him know that I'm onto him, the jig is up, and I will not be giving him any more A's until he can learn how to actually say something in these beautiful essays he's writing." And my mom came home and told me this, and I was like, curses, foiled again, right? Because that's exactly what I had been doing. I had had her in 9th grade, and I learned what she liked, and I just churned it out and replicated it. Give the people what they want. And that is who this person is. And that's who she's always been. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Crazy.
But that's who she is. She has an amazing acumen for the fundamentals of pop music. She's a great producer, great pop vocalist. She understands the basic grammar of creating a big arena spectacle, and she's a wonderful writer. Her command of wordplay and rhyme and meter and rhythm is really impressive. But there's no there. She has nothing to say. Except to talk about her ego and her teen angst poetry about boys. And before you call me a sexist, I basically only listen to female artists and only to pop music because I do not respond to most men's artistic work because I usually feel like they have never known a day of struggle in their lives and have nothing to say. And if they have had a day of struggle, they blame it on someone else.
And y'all, when I tell you the Caucasians are eating her up, but exposing so much at the same damn time. Did you hear what this man just said? Let me rewind that right here.
Only listen to female artists and only to pop music because I do not respond to most men's artistic work because I usually feel like they have never known a day of struggle in their lives and have nothing to say. And if they have had a day of struggle, they blame it on someone else.
So that's what the Caucasian men be out here doing? I mean, damn. This is all about the narcissistic collapse. Let's continue.
And I don't find that compelling. So that's not what this is about. What this is about is she has nothing to say. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with just being good at what you do. But she would have you believe that she is the second coming of Joni Mitchell or Carole King. And there's no there. And the way she has bridged that gap is, one, by being really skilled at making pop bops, Shake It Off and stuff like that. She's really good at that stuff. But for the rest, she has figured out who her target demo is. And she has created what I would call a simulacrum of connection with them, where you feel like she understands you and you understand her, and it feels very connective and cathartic, and you feel seen and heard in a way that you probably don't with other artists. And it's been very effective and lucrative for her, which is what makes this new album so unbelievably strange. Because there is not a single excerpt I've heard so far that pertains to anything that has anything to do with a normal person's life. It is all about being rich, famous, in a power couple, or grievances about being rich, famous, in a power couple. Comparing yourself to Elizabeth Taylor when most of your fans don't have a job and the country's falling down around them is a very strange choice when your entire thing is built on, see, we're just girls. We're just girls together. Putting out a song called Cancelled 2 weeks after a bunch of people just lost their jobs for having an opinion on a crime that occurred is a weird choice. And an even weirder choice is first of all, she's never been canceled. She's been criticized. She's never been canceled. But even weirder is doing that at this time when that term has become almost exclusively associated with right-wing grievance for being criticized for aligning themselves with the current regime that has what, like a 35% approval rating?
And then now I'm starting to understand why Gen Z is like, that must be a millennial thing. And I'm like, wait a minute. A millennial thing? No, not a millennial thing. But it's because the young generation they can't relate to her life. They can't relate to her being conservative. Listen, the whole reason Trump helped save TikTok, right? Was because it was too liberal. So like she decided to put this right wing album out, and it's like supposed to connect to a more conservative audience, but she's disconnected from the audience that she built. So Gen Z, they don't really relate to that. I feel like there are more conservative millennials than there probably are Gen Z. Like, y'all let me know. I could be wrong. It's just my opinion. But I feel like with millennials, it's kind of split. We're kind of split. But I feel like when it comes to Gen Z, it just gives just liberal. Like it's just it's in the way that they think. It's in the way that, like, prime example, that young white girl that just came on here and she broke everything down and she basically exposed her own group of women. That's just how they are. Like they're very open minded. I've even saw so many videos of the Solan Princess song that was recently released, and you have white girls walking to the back in their videos. Like when she started saying non-black people get to the back, non-black people, or she said white people get to the back, or some she said, or non-black people get to the back, they went to the back in their video. I was like, oh, wait a minute, y'all going to the back? That's crazy. So I just feel like Gen Z is just different. Like they're very liberal to me. But millennials, now I'm starting to see why people keep throwing shots at millennials. I don't think they throwing shots. I think they're just recognizing the difference. Like we're more split, in my opinion. But they are very liberal. I feel like Gen Z is very liberal. And so when she put out this conservative album, right? I don't think people were really feeling it. And when I say conservative, I mean like the focus is like being a power couple, having money, having fame. It's like everything that the younger generation doesn't really connect to, but she's a pop star. And I feel like, that's more of a youthful crowd. And then her music, it tends to be teeny bopper to me, which is why the only time I really hear Taylor Swift is in Forever 21 or like H&M, Charlotte Rouge or something like that. So I don't know. Like it just, to me, in my opinion, I just feel like she's not connecting with her audience because of where she's currently moving to in her life. With one thing about the Kansas City Chiefs, they're very conservative, right wingers. Like if you want to know, this is what it is. Also, she's getting with a man that wants to fit in that space as well. And then she's a Caucasian woman, blonde, American sweetheart that has money. Where do you think she's going? So it's just like one of those situations where I don't think her fans are ready for that. Like, are her fans ready for the fact that Taylor is going to be stepping out of this white feminist image? Because, that's coming. It's coming. Once she gets married, like, you'll see that it'll become more trad wife.
These are bizarre choices when the whole thing that underpins your thing is making your fans feel like you're one of them. Very strange. Very strange. But it goes one step further, because even as much as I have never liked this person's work, I have always said the one thing you cannot take from her is she is an excellent writer. And this time around, these lyrics are, wow, are they bad. And at times illiterate. The fate of Ophelia, she drowned herself from grief over death and violence, not because she hadn't been dicked down enough. Like, did you read the play? It's weird. Construing sympathy as a knife as a diss track against Taylor Swift is the most illiterate reading of those lyrics I can think of.
And I have a question. If there are any Swifties in here, I could have sworn the Swifties said that she tends to drop albums based off of the men that she either dated, broke up with, or something like that. Like, she tends to create albums based off of the men that she dates. So are the lyrics, hold on, let me pull this back up. Because she was out here dealing with this Travis Kelce in the bedroom. This one in public, right? This is the one in public, right? But the bedroom was this one. Huh. Let me know, because I think that's what it is. And so when she went to go creatively express herself after being D'd down by the big red, I don't even know what she was labeling it. I gotta go. What is it called? The big red some. What was that? What did that man say? Hold on, let me go back because I need to see. He said the big red wood.
Like, as soon as she started talking about Travis Kelce's Redwood, that's when I knew it was time for me to go. It was time to go.
Congratulations, Taylor.
Not the big red wood. So I think that's what this is about, y'all. I think that's what this is about. And so she got in the studio after being D'd down by the big red wood, and this is what she came up with.
Like, it's just like the writing's bad, but also like kind of dumb. Like, it's just wild. And what has been fascinating is watching even some of her most vociferous defenders come online and be like, this album's ass, what happened? And I don't think that's coincidental. It's very much like how a certain funeral a couple of weeks ago cracked open the brains of a lot of red hat people. This album has cracked open the brains of a lot of her fans. And this is where the astrology comes in. Because this was all foretold by the prophecy. Pluto moved into Aquarius in November, December. And Pluto's transits are about 20 years. I don't remember the actual number. I think it's like 18 or something. But Pluto is about the underworld, so both in terms of the underbelly and the structures underneath things, right? And Capricorn.
The structures underneath things. There's a collapse.
Capricorn is all about work, 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 money, 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 money. And so we went through a 20-year period where everything was about the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, screw you, get mine, money, 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 right? And then in November, Pluto moved into Aquarius, which is about humanitarianism and togetherness and equality and meeting people's needs. And that's a marked shift, which, if you believe in astrology, is why everything that's happening right now is happening. Because to get from point A of Pluto in Capricorn to point B of Pluto in Aquarius, a whole lot of stuff has to be dismantled, which is also what Pluto is, the destroyer. All of that to say, I don't think it's coincidental that, much like Dear Leader, this person rose to the billionaire class during the 20 years of money, 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 work, 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 money, money. And now that we're all fed up and in a completely different mindset, the wool is being pulled off people's eyes.
Oh, like a narcissistic collapse. I love when my spiritual downloads align with astrology, the cosmos, alignment. I love to see it. So, yeah, this is all a part of the narcissistic collapse, y'all. And Taylor Swift is tied up into that. And her fans are starting to see her for who she really is.
I mean, there's just as many other ways to explain this that have nothing to do with astrology if you think that's nonsense. The simplest one is she's been a billionaire for too long, and when you live in that kind of rarefied air, you lose connection with reality. And that's what happens to all of them. So there's that explanation too that's maybe simpler. Either way, I think this is fascinating. And not to be arrogant, but as I get older, I have noticed a recurring theme in my own life, which is that I'm often early but rarely wrong.
Oh, me and you both, sir. We are often early but never wrong. Me and you both, sir. So he's going off of astrology and I'm going off of spirituality. So yeah, it all aligns to me.
People will tell me I'm full of it or crazy, and then a month, a year, 5 years goes by, and they're like, you were right. You tried to tell me you were right.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been saying this about this person for 10 years.
Oh, damn.
And I feel very vindicated. So, RIP my mentions, because I'm sure her fans are going to go crazy. Although most of what I make gets suppressed anyway, so I'm sure it'll be fine. But anyway, enjoy your little album about Travis Kelce's dick or whatever. Bye.
feel vindicated this year too. Like, listen, us truth tellers and speakers, the ones that don't be out here just making shit up from an insecure place or a hater place. Like, we really are just studying human behavior. Yeah, a lot of us are being vindicated this year. We sure are. This year, we could just label it vindication. So let me go ahead and move on because he didn't lie at all. Okay, so I don't even know where to start with this. Okay, hold on. Let me play this one. We moving on to Tony because Tony had this to say, and y'all, this cracks me up.
But guess what? I already could look at Stefon Diggs and tell that he was gay because he sleep around too much.
Ooh.
Same thing like with Dwight Howard. When a man sleep around too much and for that long, like I got out the streets at 21 years old. When a man still sleep around and he now about 30 and then he crossed 30, especially if a man getting hit 40s, 50s, like Shannon Sharp, them men be bisexual, which is basically gay. And they deal with women. And I'm going to tell you what happened with bisexual men. Their standards for women lower. That's why he got Cardi B pregnant. Because Cardi B is not somebody that a man really want to be with.
He got a clutch. This is crazy. Cardi, and listen, I'm going to say it. This man gonna do her worse than Offset. Y'all are aware. This man gonna do her worse than Offset. I'm just like, oh my God, how do you get yourself in a situation like this?
She too loud. She too loud. She too boisterous. She too quirky. She too awkward. It's like a man is not wired to be with a woman like her. Like just the streets raise her. And that's why her relationships never work out because she's not raised to be a wife.
By the way, Chad said that this was not AI generated. Because I asked, people are like, oh, this is AI. This is AI. Listen, Chad said it wasn't. Okay. Due to unnatural fabric folds or textures, distorted hands or accessories, inconsistent lighting or perspective.
She's not raised for a man. Like she raised by the streets. And when you raised by the streets, you end up being for the streets. And a man will try, but then he realized he just can't really relate to you. He realized that he just can't have like a normal homeostasis with you. And that just things just gonna be just always awkward and different and off and it'll make a man and because of the stuff that she might know.
Now listen, I'm gonna say I agree with him, but I only agree because of Stefon's profession. Okay. When you're a wag, there is a certain way that you have to carry yourself. Cardi, after that back and forth with Nicki Minaj, she is bad for business. The NFL is a business. It is a brand. They are very conservative. Her going off on Twitter X, that ain't gonna fly, honey. You can't be ghetto and all of that. I'm sorry. You have to carry yourself a certain type of way. Period. So the wags, they know that. And it just seems like Cardi doesn't know her place. Like she doesn't know how to play that role. She doesn't know how to play that position. I'm sorry. Like all that loud talking and just saying like the craziest things. Like a lot of people are overlooking what she said about Nicki's kid. But people are like, "Oh, in the hood, yeah, all bets are off. You talk about my kid, you talk about my kid." But when you're with a man like Stefon that is attached to the NFL that is very conservative, this ain't no hood argument. Like this you have to conduct yourself a certain type of way. I'm sorry, you have to have class. That's just it is what it is. Name one NFL wife. Name one wag that acts like that outside of basketball wives. And those women are not actually married to men in the league. Either they're retired or they're divorced. So name one wag that actually acts like this publicly. You can't act like this. There's banquets. I don't think women have ever seen the business side of dating a man in the NFL. They have banquets, they have nonprofit profit organizations. Like I think Stefon not too long ago did like a puppies and something type of event. Like she got to class it up. I don't think she knows how, y'all. I don't think she knows how. It's more than just high fashion Paris. Like it's you got to know how to talk. You got to know how to carry yourself. You got to know not to allow someone like Nicki Minaj to trigger you to where now you messing up the brand, you messing up the business, you messing up your man's image. And you may even be hurting him when it comes to any potential business deals and things like that. And you also have to understand that the women that Stefon has dealt with, regardless of if he's bisexually gay or whatever he labels himself or is down low about, right? Those women are quiet. Those women don't be doing too much. Those women are kept away. Like he probably pays and then he like keeps them tucked away somewhere where they're not, you rarely hear them. You may see them, but you rarely hear them, or they're taking him to court or something like that. They're doing they're doing things a certain type of way. They're conducting business a certain type of way to where it's not making him look bad when it comes to what he got going on professionally. But when it comes to this whole back and forth that happened with Nicki and Cardi B, you cannot think that that's not going to hurt Stefon in some type of way. If she's going to be showing up to his games and she's going to be interacting with the team and taking photos and things like that. Now that she's attaching herself to his image, you have to understand you got to carry yourself a certain type of way. Okay. Wives just means wives and girlfriends of the league, y'all. NFL, uh baseball, any soccer, football, basketball, like any league out here. So she just doesn't know how to class it up. Sadly, she's been able to get away with that ghetto hood like girl around the way chick for a very long time. But I'm telling you, the NFL is way more conservative. Like I said, they have the banquets, they have the toy drives for kids, they have like all of these different things. What else do they be doing? They had like a puppy drive recently. Um, they are always donating and giving back. Like she has to carry herself a certain way. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
To do in the bedroom that also diminishes a man's trust, because now he's not teaching her nothing, he learning from her. And so now when a man get with a woman like that, he can't trust her. And if he can't trust her, guess what? He can't love her. And if he can't love her, then he gonna cheat on her. That's why Offset kept cheating on her. He couldn't trust her, he couldn't love her, so he kept cheating on her. And then that's why they broke up. And then now she get with Stefon Diggs, and because of her own trauma, she get with Stefon Diggs because...
Well, I'm gonna tell you now, Emily, there could be some truth to that, right? But Cardi can't be coming online blasting Stefon. Like when it comes to their relationship, that's out. She was able to do that. Listen, she was in the industry of rap and being in the industry of music. That was seen as all entertainment. But when it comes to the NFL, that's a different ball game.
She is in a way retaliating against Offset. And that is the sign of a broken woman. When a woman goes and hurts herself more to hurt a man. If you are a woman listening to this, learn from Cardi B. Never go give your body away to another man that's not your husband.
And listen, I'm gonna just keep it simple like this. Offset, when he most likely saw her pregnant with another man, he lost all respect. He detached instantly. At that point, he never gave a fuck. It's almost like post nut clarity, right? With a man after he promised you the world. Then after he nuts, then post nut clarity kicks in and he just detaches. When he saw Cardi get pregnant, and listen, I get it, ladies. Okay, I get it. It's fucked up. I get it. I'm not saying this because I agree. I'm telling you, it's just the way that it is. Is when it comes to men like, especially if they saw you, they put you on a pedestal enough to marry you, enough to like have kids with you, put you around his family, his mama and all of that, enough. It may not be much, right? If your standards are high, but it's something to him, right? As soon as he saw Cardi pregnant, he detached. Soon as. If she would have just been messing around with him, if she would have just been flaunting him on like Instagram and stuff like that, that would have got at his ego way more. But when she ended up pregnant, there's no chance, like he knows there's no chances of ever getting back with her. As you can see, like it's clear that he's more open to not only physically moving on, but you could tell he's emotionally moving on. And that wasn't the case the last time. So I just feel like he's detached. The only thing that he's gonna be attached to is her money. But that's it. And that's what he's always been attached to begin with anyway. But I do feel like he had some type of respect for her before she got pregnant. And I get it, ladies. He done went around, he done cheated on her, dogged her out so many times. But she had to take it up a notch. Well, she had to stoop lower and she ended up getting pregnant. And that was her way of getting back at him. But I'm telling you, it didn't hurt him the way that she probably thought because he just detached. That's just how men are. That is just how they are. But I also want to say this. I was shocked because I was seeing people say that this man was most likely gay, but I was like, I don't see it. But it's because I always saw him like on the field in athletic wear. But then I saw this. Y'all, them jeans are tight. Do y'all see them jeans? I don't think Offset ever really liked Cardi. I think he had respect for her. I think women are confusing the fact that he married her as he loved her. I don't think he ever really loved Cardi. I felt like she was an opportunity for him and he took it. But I do feel like he had a level of respect for her as far as like she's probably good with kids, she'll probably make a good mother, but I don't want to be faithful to her. And I think that when he saw her with in pregnant with this other guy while still being married, I think he looks at her differently. I don't think it hurt him at all. And that's the thing. I don't think it hurt him in the way that women feel like it should. She was in love with him. It was not the other way around. It was not the other way around. So in the end, I feel like she still hurt herself more because he didn't really love her like that. He only took the opportunity of marrying her because it was good. It was a good look. It was good business. But respect, and again, like men are, they compartmentalize, they create cognitive dissonance and things in their head where, yeah, he respected her as a mother, but not as a woman that he was married to. Like, that's just how men are. Men are weird like that. They're weird like that. Women, we're a little different and like we can be complicated, but not as layered as they are sometimes when it comes to how they view things and their perspective. But I think that's what a lot of it is. I'm sorry, y'all, but I don't think Offset is hurt like that. I don't. I don't. I think he just simply lost respect for her. That's it. I don't think he is hurt like that though. Because you got to understand, like, this man most likely already knew that she was dealing with, because everyone forgets about the Bia diss that Bia put out with Cardi B. She was already alluding to the fact that Cardi was already out here messing with other men before this whole public relationship with Stefon. So he may have already known about that. They could have had like an open marriage where they do this back and forth where they're off and on, off and on, off and on. So like he could have already known about those other men. He probably didn't really care, right? But when she got pregnant, yeah, like it didn't hurt him. He just lost respect. That's just how I feel like that's where his mindset is. And then she ended up with him, and I'm just like, woo, girl. And then let me show y'all because my friend, we had a conversation about this, and she was saying that Men who wear these short shirts that hit right at the waist, like they're kind of like crop tops for men, but they're not really crop tops. Like sometimes they can hit exactly right above the waist, or they can hit right under the belly, or they can hit mid waist, but they're always wearing these crop top style type of shirts. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And I'm gonna explain what it is supposed to mean, because my friend told me that her gay friend told her that when you see men wearing shirts like this, wearing like little shirts that hit like right there or right above that waistline, they're either bisexual or they're gay. And now, why would gay men prefer tops like that? To show off their ass. That's why. Show off the booty. I'm like, what? That's crazy. So that's why you see him. Every time you see him in regular clothing, his shirts literally stop right at the waist or a little bit above. So when I see him here, I'm like, crazy. And again, let me give you another example. So the girls, when you see him in this, yeah. Yeah. And now that I brought it to your attention, when you go out into the community and you see men in shirts like this, and he's with another man, or you see two men together on a date or whatever, or you could go to Hinge. Go to Hinge and do you'll just do men only, but then like you can see like the gay men too sometimes on Hinge. And so you'll see, like, just go through their profile and see like what they're wearing. I'm telling you, they love shirts like that. They love shirts like that. So just some tea. No, it's not AI generated. I already went over that. Sorry. But yeah, I was really shocked about this. And then let me see. Did I cover everything out of that one? Hold on, let me go here. Let me go here. Cause I gotta show y'all this. Cause I need the girls to know, girl, what you getting into out here in these streets with these men, honey. Listen to what this bodyguard had to say. He's a popular celebrity bodyguard. His name is Big Homie CC, and this is what he had to say about men.
And it was getting so weird in the party. I'm like, man, I tell the security team I'm working with, bro, let me sit outside in the Escalade. So I go outside in the Escalade and I'm just chilling out there because, you know, bro, I got a reputation to maintain, bro, outstanding member. Like, I don't want nobody thinking that, man, they got BH with this. That was always a concern for me, bro. That was always a concern. I seen it for myself because Bobby Valentino was the person I was bodyguarding there. You see what I'm saying? He tell me I done got so much pussy before, you know, pussy don't even really excite me. I'm like, well, what you mean? But he there. What you mean? On bro, folks grave. I said, what you mean? So he got two girls with him. So I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, hold on. These might not be normal girls. Sure enough. Now he say, man, take my girl to the bathroom. I'm like, okay. We walk into the bathroom. You feel me? She go into the men's bathroom. But that's not all the way crazy because it's one bathroom packed, you feel me? People might do that. You know what I'm saying? So people start swarming the door. So I step inside the bathroom door. She's standing at the urinal. Dress lifted up. I'm like, damn. Oh, okay, that's how they coming? All right. So, you know, I'm gonna tell everybody this. If you at a celebrity party and them white guys come in like they was on Twilight, look like vampires.
Yeah, we did.
They holding their drink like this. You feel me? With the blonde hair, stuff like that. It's finna get crazy in the party now, you feel me? Seen it too many times. When the white guys come in like they was on a vampire movie, bro. Hella gel, spikes sticking up, around a bunch of black dudes. Yeah, somebody finna get their cakes touched on, bro. But here another thing though, like I bodyguarded this guy who was a pimp before, and he told me, he said, look, if a man have too much of one thing, he start trying other things. So as soon as I heard that, I went celibate for like 2 years.
Do I need to play this again? Because I need the girls to understand that, sis, when you out here dealing with a man that is community D, you playing with your life. You playing with your life. You got to know you playing with your life, honey. Let me go ahead and rewind that so you can hear that clearly, because now there's two men saying the same thing. Let me see. I think it's right here.
Got this guy who was a pimp before, and he told me, he said, look, if a man have too much of one thing, he start trying other things. So as soon as I
And I'm going to add to it. Okay, so he's saying when a man has too much of one thing, he start trying other things. And that's why I said, if you look in history, right, and you look at when we used to live like kings and queens, when a man had access to a blonde, a redhead, a slave, a servant, when he had access to a brunette, when he had access to a woman with long hair, short hair, thick hair, fuller, younger, older, mid-size, skinny, curvy, plus size. When he had access to all of those women, right? And he went through all of those women. Who did they end up going to at the end? Man. They ended up going to men. The king started requesting a knight to his room, a soldier to his room. Listen, when they get bored and they just go through all of these options, right? And a man has to play with something. That's just how they are. They're like kids. All right. Once they get bored of one toy, then they want another one. Then they want another one. Then they want another one. But it's like one of those situations where it's like once they go through all of those women and they have endless, and that's another thing, is they can go through many different phases of, oh, I like this woman, I like this woman, and then I like this woman. And they all have like different types. They look differently and things like that. But then it's like once you go through all of those women, then what? And we've seen this with rappers. Like we've seen how Drake is a prime example. Like the many different women he's gone through, and now Drake is on this, I'm into white women from Miami. Are y'all seeing Lil Wayne? Are y'all seeing the women that he's into now after he went through all of those women in his youth? Listen, and you got to understand that in the hip hop industry and the rapper industry and things like that, like what's the main thing that they promote? Being promiscuous. Being promiscuous. And they influence other men to be promiscuous. Not to don't ever settle down. Don't ever do that. What's the point of picking one when you can have them all? Da da da. Telling you, that's why they always switch to the other side. They switch to the other team.
I heard that, I went celibate for like 2 years. Cause I ain't even trying to have like, bro, I think a lot of things is evil, bro. And in the music industry, you see a lot of things that's evil. And they'll tell you crazy because you don't agree with it. I seen this. All of this stuff that's coming out, I've been saying it, bro. I've been saying it. That's why I started taking gigs and I'm bringing the guys with me.
Listen, y'all got to go watch this full interview because it just tell you like men with power, men who have endless access. We're not talking about men that actually have to work for a woman's time, body, and energy. We're talking about men where women are literally throwing themselves at men, right? At this particular guy because he has money, he has status, he has fame, like he has all of these things. And so once you get women, and then that's another thing, there's no chase for real. Like he doesn't really have to chase at all because, well, all of these women, these beautiful women are just throwing themselves at him. So eventually there's no chase for him. There's nothing that he really has to work for anymore. So, I mean, I can see why they switched to the other side. I don't think it's hard to believe at all. So, and then that's when they start, dipping and dabbling into being bisexual.
Think this Stefon nigga ain't finna break your motherfucking spirit as a woman? Bitch, you got.
I can't believe y'all got me agreeing with Charleston White. But I literally said 2025 is going to be that year, 2026 too, and 2027, where you're going to find yourself agreeing with people that you don't like or you normally don't agree with.
Nigga who the whole football team said, man, I wouldn't want this nigga around my sister. Bitch, you pregnant with 4 other hoes. You cannot come before black people, Cardi, and talk as if you can hold your head up. Bitch, you walking in shame. That's why you gotta say, girl, that's all our baby daddy. I mean, all y'all got the same disease. I want to know. All I want to know is the baby gonna be natural childbirth or C-section? Cause that pussy can't be clean.
I don't think it was this part. I think it was another part where he was basically saying how because Cardi B is a Hispanic woman who doesn't claim her black roots when it comes to her ethnicity, she thinks that she's better than Nicki Minaj. And it's like you're literally in the same, if anything, you're in the same position. Or some would say she's beneath her. She's not above her. But because Cardi believes that because she's Hispanic, she's racially ambiguous and like she gets the black male gaze, she feels like she's above a Nicki Minaj. Like I'm gonna have to find out what he said in full because he was really breaking it down. And Charleston White was getting on black women about how are you defending this Hispanic woman when if the roles were reversed or the tables were turned, no one would be defending you. And I'm just like, how is it that Charleston White can see the play here, but black women can't, or black women are refusing to see the play? Like, it makes no sense to me. I'm just like, you wouldn't be treated the way that she's like, you wouldn't get as many passes as she's getting because she's racially ambiguous. Like, she wouldn't. She would not get as many passes. Like, it's just facts. And that's basically what he was saying. He was basically saying that Nikki is a better woman around because she got to fame not by sleeping around. Like he literally listed it off. Nikki didn't sleep with Lil Wayne. Nikki didn't sleep with Drake. Nikki didn't sleep with all of these rappers that she was around. She didn't sleep her way to the top. Like she got to the top because of her talent, because of her hard work, because of her dedication, because of her consistency. Whereas Cardi is the woman that she slept her way to the top. That was the reason why. And this is another thing, like karma is really coming to bite her in the ass because she got into this marriage with Offset, right? And he saw her as an opportunity, but you don't think Cardi saw him as an opportunity? She did. She saw it as an opportunity. So she took that opportunity and she leveraged that opportunity. And then she ended up pregnant. She ended up pregnant immediately, which also kind of hurt her career in a sense. And so now like she doesn't know anything. Like she doesn't know how to do anything but sleep her way into certain positions where she can gain leverage. Like that's just what she does. But Nikki, on the other hand, didn't take that route. She didn't sleep her way to the top. It's just, it is what it is. And are y'all seeing the downfalls? Because another part of this narcissistic collapse that I'm noticing are the girls that slept their way to fame or the girls that slept their way into some money. There is a decline that is happening. Like there is a real collapse. Like Brittany Renner. I saw that video where she went viral and it's her mom and they're upset because PJ Washington is not paying enough. And then like it's just like constant Kim Kardashian. It just seems like all of that stuff is like backfiring. And I saw Kim K and her new haircut and people are like, "Oh my god, she looks old. She looks aged." And I'm like, "Kim K? Not the Kim Kardashian." So it's a lot of that going on. It's like with this narcissistic collapse is also the collapse of these beauty hierarchies too. Like this glamour magic that we're seeing as well. So yeah, I don't think this was the part. I guess we can agree with the spirit is broke. I can agree with that. I could agree with the spirit being broke, but I don't agree with all that other stuff, all that other mess that he was talking about. I missed the part where he was listing off all the rappers Nicki never slept with and works with, but she was able to capitalize just simply based off of her talent and not like who she was sleeping with or connected with. And that's the difference. And that's why he's saying, I can't believe black women are siding with Cardi B because Nicki is a woman that didn't sleep around. She didn't sleep her way to the top. Like she got success because of her raw talent and her dedication and her hard work. Whereas he feels like Cardi, it was just who she was connected to and who she was sleeping with at that time. And then I listened to the album, y'all, and I don't feel like the album was I don't feel like Am I the Drama? I don't feel like it was that good. I feel like it will be great for TikTok. It will be great for like TikTok Reels. It'll be great for like Instagram Reels and things like that. But to play that like back to back, hell no. Like I'm not listening to that. I was like, okay, like she got some cute little lyrics in here that you can use for like a reel or something like that. But ain't no way you gonna sit and listen to that and just stream that from the first track to the last track. Like no way. No way. And that's not me hating. Like that's I wanted to like it, but I'm just like it just didn't give. I'm thinking like it's gonna be some of her songs like On the Floor, I felt like was really good. But every time I actually hear Cardi and I like her on a song is when she is featured on a song. It's not, or when she has a feature on her song. I don't really like just hearing her from one track to the next. Like I don't really like hearing her like that. And that's no shade. Like I really wanted to like it. I felt like she had something to say considering how much she's gone through within the last few years, considering who she married and everything, but it just I didn't like the album, y'all. It was I know for a fact it's gonna be a one listen and that's it. I may use some of her catchy one-liner lyrics in a reel or something like that, but that's it. And if her album does well, it's strictly because of reels. Like it's strictly because of TikTok. And that's just the era and time in which we're in. But I see people using her sounds a lot on reels and things like that. But outside of social media, I don't really see people really using her song like that unless it's a DJ and they're like mixing in stuff. But that's really it. I don't really see her album doing that well outside of those factors. No shade. Barty Gang, don't come for me. I'm just being honest. And honestly, it's because when it came to the album, like trying to listen to it like track by track, it was just she doesn't have a flow. She does not have a flow. It's almost like she's always fighting the beat or she's always I don't know. She doesn't have a really good flow. Like that's just my honest opinion. That's not me being biased or anything like that. That's just me knowing good music. It was not good, y'all. I'm sorry. And then the girls are going to be like, "Oh, her album was amazing. It was amazing." Well, don't cuz I saw another black women artist, AI, dark skinned black woman artist that's on the up and coming. She currently grew her online following and everything. She's currently on the rise right now and she's using AI. And I'm just like, y'all can't be mad at the girls taking advantage of that when Cardi doesn't write her lyrics like that. We know that for a fact. And not only that, she's not that good. Okay? She's not that good. And it's like a lot of people are like, okay, if Cardi can make it, then I can make it and I can use AI and make it. It is what it is. So y'all let me know what you think about all of this. Honestly, when it comes to Diddy, he should have gotten more time. But for a billionaire, he got more time than I thought he was going to get. And I really think it came down to the judge coming to the conclusion like, oh my God, he's really arrogant. Like he needs to learn. He scheduled that speaking engagement a week out from his sentencing. You know what? I'm going to give him 4 years. And I think that that's how he came. I think that's how the judge came to his conclusion. Gina being a pick me, Caresha being a pick me, all of these women fighting over this man that wants to be with other men, most likely, will always be the biggest joke. Like, all of the girls, if you are out here fighting over a man that deep down wants to be with other men, you lost. Period. It doesn't matter what it looks like. And then also, when you could never win being pimped out. I'm sorry. Like, it just doesn't work like that. You could only win by being empowered and working for yourself because you're not being controlled. When you are reducing yourself to a transaction, you are under the control of said transaction because it is a business contract. It doesn't always have to be written. Sometimes it can be verbal. And sometimes it could just be simply an understanding, but you're never going to win when you're being pimped out. So I don't care how many trips you go on. I don't care what car you drive. I don't care what house you have. You don't have freedom. You are always under that man's control. Point blank, period. It could be your career. It could be when you can leave the house, how you wear your hair, how you paint your nails, who you can talk to, where you can go. If you have to be somewhere where you don't want to be somewhere, it like you can never win when you're being pimped out by a man. I'm sorry, it's just the truth. And then also when it comes to these men, I need women to understand that you are dating a promiscuous man. Like if he's promiscuous, like he most likely is bisexual or gay. You need to know what you're dealing with. And this is why we live in a time where nurse practitioners are urging you. They're coming online saying, ladies, if you're going to be out here dating around and sexually engaging in sex, you need to get on PrEP because these men are more gay than you think. Or they're just one lonely night away from being curious. Okay, you do what you want to do with that information. And I feel like men are comfortable now because of the patterns that they're seeing, that they're comfortable letting women know, like, hey, that's what's going on. That's really what it is. That's just really what it is. And listen, I don't feel like Cardi doesn't have a place in the music industry. I don't feel like she doesn't have a place in the entertainment business. It's just rap is just not her strongest suit. Like rap is not my strongest suit. It doesn't mean I lost at life. It's not my strongest suit. There are so many other things that Cardi is good at. Like I love how she attends Fashion Week. Like honestly, I haven't really seen just a bad look on Cardi. Like from hair to makeup to even nails and everything that she does. Like she's always looking fabulous to me. I just don't feel like rap is just like her strong suit. And that's okay. She has more personality and I would like to see her in movies, shows. I would like to see her more in the performance art of entertainment, like maybe doing, I wouldn't say a play, a commercial. Like I want to see her do more like TV. I wouldn't even say she has to do reality TV. She could have her own show maybe, but we want to see more of her personality. Like music is just not her strong suit. And that's okay. And it shouldn't be a big deal if you're not competing with Nicki Minaj. But see, it's a big deal, especially when you signed a record label and you're supposed to create music because you're supposed to compete with the hottest rapper of our time, which is Nicki Minaj, which is why it's a big deal. But it wouldn't be a big deal if she simply just focused on what she's good at, and that's being personable and that's being a personality. And to be honest, she could go far with that. So, and I think that's how she ended up in the fashion space, Paris Fashion Week space, because people really like her personality. She can really go far with that. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say regarding this video. Please give this video a thumbs up. Before I let you go, I also want to let you know that when it comes to my YouTube channel, I will have members only. There will only be one option. It's $4.99, and this is strictly for you to get access to anything that I'm talking about, like conspiracy theories, honestly. That will be available to you, or anything that I feel like I have to put behind a wall and I don't want to make it public. So you'll get access to that. You won't get access to anything spiritual. My spiritual girlies, we are strictly on Patreon. So if you are on Patreon, you will get access to YouTube membership with $7.99, and that content that goes to YouTube, but you also get the spiritual content. Like you'll get the readings, you'll get the spiritual talks, you'll get the rituals and everything that we like to do on there for $7. And then for $15, you get access to everything, including the workshops that we tend to do once a month. Okay. So that is the breakdown, and the workshops, that's $15. The spiritual content with the YouTube content behind a paywall, that's $7. And if you only want access to just YouTube and that's it, no spiritual content at all, then it's $4.99. So again, that's all based off of what you're looking for and what you're wanting to connect to. Also, if you subscribe to Patreon, you do get access to Discord. I don't make that public. YouTube memberships, I'm not going to allow that to be public through YouTube memberships, only through Patreon, because we tend to do spiritual talks and spiritual work on Discord. So I don't feel comfortable making that public if you're not really into that, because for two reasons. I don't want to impose my beliefs on others, and I want everyone to feel comfortable in the space that I'm creating around the spiritual content and women like myself that are into the spiritual work that we do. So I'm not going to make that available for my YouTube members only that are not into the spiritual content. So that is just what I'm doing. That's just me trying to make it fair. I'm going to get rid of the $2.99 membership because it's just not necessary anymore. I fixed it. It was backwards. And now memberships will be posted to this platform, and then also you'll get automatically those videos and access to those videos through Patreon. So I've made that correction. Thank you all. The YouTube membership, it's in the subscription. So if you click on the $4.99 option, it will tell you what the description is. So it's you getting access to the conspiracy theories or any other topics that I don't feel comfortable leaving public. Like there was a live that I did about the government shutdown. I think that was on Thursday, and I couldn't leave that public. So that would be a video that you would be able to get access to if you're interested in learning about or hearing about what that conversation was about. And then any other conversations that have to do with really the US government, conspiracy theories. Like my next topic is going to be about the Chicago ICE raids. So if you want to be a co-host on Patreon, let me know. Hit me up in Discord in the light speakers room, and I'll try to get you up there so that you can kind of add community context to what may be going on in Chicago, because I'm not in Chicago. And I would like to hear from someone that's actually in Chicago, because I felt like Black people were spreading false information. So I want to hear from you if you're able to come up and talk, okay? There isn't a $4.99 option. So what are the options? Are you sure? I could have sworn. Let me look. Cause ain't no way. Do I need to fix it? Cause I'm about to look it up right now. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Let me try to see if I can fix it, because I only should have two options. One for $1.99 and the other for $4.99. Okay, it is $4.99. That's what I thought. Oh, it's $6.99. Okay, let me fix that because it needs to be $4.99. Let me fix it. Let me fix it. Listen, so if you're currently a member and it goes away, you'll have to redo it to the price of $4.99 over $6.99, because I could have sworn it was $4.99. But I'll fix it because it was confusing. Thank you all for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up. And again, I hope to see you in my next one. Oh, wait, where's my outro?
This is my opinion. I'm free to state my opinion anytime I like, right? Thank you.
I don't want you to feel like that, but yeah, feel like that.
This is my opinion. I'm free to state my opinion anytime I like, right? Thank you.
I don't want you to feel like that, but yeah, feel like that.